Check this out. I'm going to show you how I afforded this car. Okay, you ready? All right.
Turn that off so I can see it. And I need to probably plug that in. Okay. That's when you know you're getting old, when you have to look back at stuff. I don't know who's in, but welcome. Hey, Chicago BBW, what's up? How you doing? I'm okay. I decided I'd come on here because I hadn't talked to people, and I'm still getting... Some people hit me up like, are you okay? How's everything going? How you feeling? I'm feeling okay. Hey, Rachel, what's up, baby girl? Thank you very much, ma'am. How you ladies doing? What's that weather like out in Chicago? Actually, I just talked to my friend who's from Chicago. She's in, her and her kids, she was working for the VA, or she's working for the VA out in, Nevada. She's the one I tried to have her come over to the other company I was with, and it was madness. Hey, Culinary, what's up, baby? How you doing? How's y'all weather where y'all at? It's still warm here in Arizona, but it's, this can be typical for us because it's September. It's cooling down some, but me and Joe went yesterday. We got out yesterday. I'm probably going to leave out today and go do a little bit of grocery shopping. Normally I had the groceries delivered, but I kind of want to get out the house, so I'm probably going to take Lyft. Hey, Mandisa, what's up, guys? What's up, ladies? When I went to the foot stuff, my feet normally don't swell. What it is, and that's usually blood pressure, by the way. So you need to talk to your doctor on the blood pressure because that feet and leg swelling is edema, and it's normally caused because of our weight and our blood pressure. So when I was in Lubbock to go out there and handle the madness, my leg, actually the left leg, which is where I have most of my clots have happened, that actually I did have some severe swelling. I even wore compression socks. That's what I need to order. Thank you for reminding me. If you want to find a good compression sock place, it's called Bright Life Direct or Bright Light, either Bright Light or Life Direct. Give me a little bit, and I'll try to remember to put it into the community page for me. I'll put their link down. I don't make no money off of them, although y'all can holler at me if you want to. But I don't make any money off of them. I'm not like an affiliate or anything for them. They're a company I found a long time ago, and I usually get my compression socks from them. And when I was driving, I would order the compression socks. Especially, I don't know if you're as heavy as I am. By your picture of your face that I've seen before, you didn't look like you're as heavy as I am. But I know that normally if we have weight, we have big calves. So they have even extra wide compression socks, so you could go that route. I usually get the men's, and that way I go that. They have all different kinds, so you can go that route with Bright Life or Bright Light or Bright Life Direct. And I just told one of the older ladies who's from my former church, one of my, what I call the mother of the church, I told her about them because she's 91. And so she's not moving around as much. My aunt who got the blood clots, I told her about them. And you can get, a lot of times they have sales on different type of compression socks. So they're not as expensive as if you go through the companies your doctors might recommend. But if your doctor recommends a company that your insurance will pay for, you might want to do that. But if they don't and it's coming out your pocket, compare the cost. And you might find, and they have some medical grade compression socks, but you can get non-medical grade that have a good, compression. So I wore some on the way, but I did notice, and I was wondering if that might be, I might have thrown a clot. Even though I was supposed to be therapeutic on my last check, it was a very long ride, and I wasn't driving, I was sitting. And so I wasn't moving my legs like I would in the truck. In the truck, I would move my legs around, but I did have them, and they were probably, yeah, you're a lot lighter than me, honey. I'm 160 more than you, at least that or more. So yeah, so definitely Bright Life Direct and its compression socks. I'll put, like I said, give me a little time to remember. After this, I'm going to probably be heading out. And then when I come back, I'll see if I remember. I'll put it on the community page. So just look at the community page. Well, what it'll do is if you have edema, which is the swelling, that's where your body is retaining fluid. So you're doing swelling. Normally, like I said, it's usually a blood pressure issue. So you also want to talk to your doctor about blood, because that can be water retention. And water retention is not necessarily good. That gets around our heart and all the other stuff. And a lot of it has to do with our obesity. Once you get that weight off you, once that weight starts coming off and you get down like Trucker Bill, he had all of the diabetes, the high blood pressure, all of that. Once that stuff comes off, a lot of those meds that we take go out the door. We don't have to take them anymore. And some of the stuff, the extra health issues we're having, those things go away. Actually, one of my friends who at University of Phoenix, she reminded me, it was a video. If you haven't watched it, I think it's like Netflix. You can even watch it, I think, for free on YouTube. It's called Fat, Sick, and Almost Dead. And this guy had gained all this weight, and then he decided to go on almost like a liquid type diet. And he also helped a guy who was a trucker, and him and the both of them lost weight on this diet. It was more juicing. But he talks about all the health issues he was dealing with, and once he lost the weight, what took place and what meds went out the window, all the health stuff. So once we get the weight is, it's a factor. It's a factor. It's like I watched that chick Lizzo, and I think Lizzo has her own level of talent, but she's trying to say it's acceptable to be fat. Okay, I get that we're fat, but it's not acceptable on a health level. It's very dangerous for us in general, especially black folks. It's dangerous. Like I said, I've been really thinking. I have started eating very differently. Matter of fact, me and Joe went out the other day. We did mainly seafood, salad, and some soup. I had onion soup. I had oysters. Only thing I did that was probably heavy, I did some fries, and I'm not a huge French fry person, but I knew I was hungry because I hadn't eaten a lot earlier in the day. I've been doing more like in the mornings, and I've done oatmeal and I'm not going to tell you I'm not necessarily meat, because that's not always true. I've had one thing where Joe went and got burritos, and I had a burrito that had meat in it. He brought it back for me. Him and his friend went to dinner. He says, "Hey, I'm here, and it's one of our favorite Mexican restaurants. You want a burrito?" And the burrito I always get is going to be a green chili burrito. It's not pork, though. I believe in pork alone. Pork and meat don't mix anymore, because I really don't eat pork. And I'm not a huge pork person anyway. I never really have been. I think the only major pork thing I've ever really liked was bacon, and I didn't eat that a lot. Occasionally a ham sandwich, and again, I just have to be like craving it. It's not something. I'm not a pork person. I'm not a ham person. And about the only other meat is I like the rib tips, if it's done well, seasoned well, and that's unfortunately usually pork. Other than that, pork is not my big thing. My big thing, if I go into meat, is going to be steak, lamb, brisket. Those are my big meats. If I go into poultry, it's always going to be chicken breast. Those are my meats. None of the other stuff. I love lamb. Yeah, a lot of people don't. It's a certain taste with lamb. Some people can't get with it. Love it. Let me see who all is in here. I said hey to Mandisa, hey to Culinary, hey to Chicago. I think it's just us in here. Oh, anybody who comes in later, like, thumbs up, share it out. Thank you very much. Smash the like button and share it. Even if you don't like it, somebody else might. So share that out. But yeah, the compression socks, that's really going to help you with kind of what it does. It keeps your, even though you don't know it, what it's doing is helping your blood pump. and it also making that fluid not just sit there. So it kind of pushes it through your body for your body to process it. So yeah, edema, but you do need to check on the swelling. Swelling usually in your feet and hands has to do with your blood pressure. Could be other things, but that's normally a blood pressure issue. And then that also means that you may need a blood pressure medicine with a water back. So I take two blood pressure medicines, and one of mine has a water back. I also take allopurinol, which is I have gout issues that happen every so often. My uric acid builds up. That actually, even whether I'm fat or skinny, it could be a hereditary issue because my mother's father had gout. I know my brother and my mother have both had gout issues. I know they've had gout issues through the grapevine, but I know I've had a couple of different bouts with gout. And gout is no joke because it's like crystallized uric acid, urine, the crystals, and it gets into the joints, and it's no joke. Back in the day, before they had some of the meds they have today, my grandfather used to have to go in and they would put a needle in his leg and draw off the fluid, and you could hear him screaming into the waiting room. That's how painful that is. And they would draw the fluid off of his knee because he could barely walk. And again, that's before we knew. And then there's certain foods that set gout off. So I do have to watch certain seafoods because that will also set gout off. Yeah, it could be. But yeah, well, gout, you can have the swelling, but also usually what comes with the gout is the pain. So when you get ready to walk, it's a different level of pain. I remember my first trip to I was supposed to go on a trip with a friend of mine to Vegas. And the day before, I went to step out the bed, and all I can tell you is I'd never felt anything like that. And mine was it in my knee? In my foot or my knee? I can't remember. It's either in the foot or the knee. I know I had to end up in a walking boot because and I ended up in a walking boot. It's bad. It was bad. Um, yeah, gout is no joke. It is, and it was like all I can tell you. It felt like somebody just took needles and shoved them in. It was pain I never remember. I was like, this Christ. I understood what my grandfather. I mean, he couldn't walk. My mom would have to go over there. We'd have to get him. We drive him to the doctor's office. And you'd be sitting in the waiting room. You heard my grandfather scream all the way in the main room because they would take a needle into his knee and draw that. And I had my first bout with it when I think I was in my 30s. I was in my 30s. And what I do know is there's certain foods that set it off. I think shellfish is one of them. It just depends. It's not saying you can't eat it, but you can't eat certain foods, certain meats. It builds up that uric acid. And if I remember correctly, like love liver and onions. I haven't had it in a while, but I believe liver is one. There's certain meats that set gout off. You can research it on here. Google has everything. Google University. Yeah, you need to talk to your doctor, and I would get the compression socks if your feet are swelling. Yeah, Florida. My best friend's in Florida, and I haven't talked. I got to talk to her. We're gonna talk today. And somebody was asking about the socks. The reason I get the socks is because, like I said, it gives that pressure, and so my left leg, even though I do have blood pressure issues, my left leg has always been off since my first blood clot. So when I had the first blood clot in my 20s, my late 20s, this whole leg over here, I had swelling in it. And back then I was under 300 pounds. I was like two something. And so I've had swelling in that leg since then because that leg it's jacked. It's had probably 3 to 5 clots in that leg because my clot's always this left leg. It's always the left leg. And I'm wondering because I was having problems when I got back here. I kept feeling this weird pain in my chest. I don't know if that was stress because the whole grumpy drama, we'll talk about some of that today, the family drama. I'll entertain you with our ghetto fab family. But I had pain in the chest and it felt like it would get in here. Almost felt like it was indigestion, but it would sit. And I just prayed because I was like, well, I don't know, Lord might be taking me home because I wasn't sure if I was having a heart attack or what. And I had those heavy breathing issues in Lubbock because when I was walking, we would stop and I would be like this. I mean, I was drawing for everything I had, and Joe was watching me, and he's like, "Are you okay?" Because it was like when we would walk somewhere, I was drawing for every breath I had. And since I've been back, way better. I also don't know, that could be some CPAP stuff too, but the air was thicker because there was a lot of humidity. But again, I wasn't walking. I am walking a little bit more. Like we went yesterday and I walked across the parking lot, walked into the restaurant, and it wasn't holding on to the table going. I mean, it wasn't, I just walked in, sat down, and was breathing about like I am. I'm still breathing heavy, but nothing like what I was doing out in Lubbock. Nothing like that. Um, Yeah, so, but get the socks. The socks will, I think the other thing I found about the socks, your legs aren't as tired because with all that fluid pulling down into your leg or your feet, your legs are really tired. So I do better when I have them on. My feet don't get tired. My legs don't feel heavy because it's helping the blood pump. That's another thing. So yeah, I would definitely look into them and talk to your doctor because you need to find out if you're retaining fluid and if they need to put a water back on that blood pressure medicine until you can start working on trying to get that weight down. That's number one. But yeah, I'm starting to do some things different. I can feel some of the weight has come off. I ain't gonna say huge pounds, probably about 5, 10 pounds. Like I said, I've been eating different. I've been doing in the mornings. I do sometimes because if I'm hungry, I do what I call a black bean vegan wrap because I get up at 9. If I'm working, I get up at 9:30 in the morning. About the only thing I do that might have meat is sometimes I order from. There's a sandwich shop here called Saks, and I order from them, and it has a lot of veggies on it. At least I like a lot. You know, I told y'all I'm a huge, even though I'm fat, I love veggies. So I have them put either lettuce or spinach on it. They put sprouts on it, which I love sprouts. Onion, a lot of onion, tomato, and I'll either do the salmon version, which is a smoked salmon, or I will do the lean turkey. Those are the ones. Hey, V Griffith, what's up? All right, you hang in there and be safe on that road, Miss Flatbed. So it's good to see you, baby. Um, but I've been really trying to watch it. And V Griffith is skinny because I saw her. She's thin. Um, but I know that like for people who might still be truckers watching me, I need to post a video on 411. I saw on the Trucker 411 Facebook. I saw this video of this guy. He prepares his meals for the truck in liquid form, trying to watch his weight. He like almost makes like a soup. And he does different. And the way he did, I was like, oh, this is genius. I'll see if I can still find it because it just came up. Because obviously, because of the trucking background, I get a lot. I still get videos from that. And I just found it interesting. And I was watching it. And he talks about how he prepares his meals for the road. So I'm going to post. I need to post that on the Trucker for One. I forgot to post it. And I saw it. But it talks about trying to deal with your health on the road. And that's huge. Like I just talked to Bill today, and he has an ulcer. He's always had problems with his legs in trucking, and he has an ulcer on his leg that he's been caring for. And he said ever since his wife died, he's been caring for this. Well, see, you got to be careful because I don't think he's diabetic anymore because of all the weight loss. Okay, yeah, water is huge. Like, I'm trying to increase my water intake because I'm not the water person either. I feel you. Matter of fact, I think I'm gonna buy one of those jugs from Amazon, and it tells you, it gives lines on drink this much at this time, drink this much at this time. I think I'm gonna order that because I seen it. I saw another lady on Facebook, and she was saying water wasn't her thing. Not Facebook, on YouTube. And I watch her because I like when she does organization. She's doing prepping too, like food prepping, which is my thing. And so, and y'all be prepping. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that. Matter of fact, I just got a message. I have a friend who works for the veterans, but she also works for the health department too. Baby got skills. And so she just talked about the Mu variant that's here now. And so they have some Mu variant locally. Fauci just talked about the Mu variant. They're focused on Delta because Delta's the bigger variant. But Mu has showed up, and Mu apparently ain't no joke. I knew Lambda and Mu. I knew Mu was coming. I just didn't know as much as what I had heard about Lambda. And I knew Lambda, per what I heard in the early days when they talked about Lambda variant, that the vaccines really didn't have really a high effect on Lambda. And so now I'm hearing about Moo, and I'm like, oh my, you know. So this getting interesting, and I am vaccinated, and I'm not eligible for the booster until I think December. So because I looked at my card the other day, and I'm not eligible till December for the other one. But anyway, what was I gonna tell y'all? I was gonna tell y'all something. There was something I was gonna tell y'all. I was gonna tell y'all something. Y'all see, I just went blank. I'm old. Oh, oh, but yeah, I'll put that on there about the drinks. But y'all stock. You definitely matter of fact, when I went to go do my order from Costco, I went to go do an order before I left here. They didn't have no toilet paper, no paper towel. So people are already kind of stocking, but I think when they come to find out about Moo showing up, we're gonna run back into some issues again. The company I'm with currently, we were supposed to go back in the office in October. They pushed it out, so they're gonna review it in November. Still working on car situation, praying about that. And we'll get into that because I know you guys knew Grumpy had a car, but the kids had issues, and I'll talk a little bit about that. And I don't fight with anybody. I'm not that one. I'll try to be as fair as possible. Even though I'm the oldest kid, I could have went in there and say, no, I'm doing this, this, and this. There were some things that I just took over because uh, while the sister was trying to help me, the half sister, she's younger, and she was calling, and if they said social, her mind went tunnel vision on, oh, we need the social, we can't do anything else. And my mind was like, no, I'm going to talk to them. And so I went and communicated the issues. And with his name and date of birth, I was able to get balls rolling. Whereas if they told her they needed social, she thought it was over. And I'm like, no, no, no. And then she's calling around trying to get the social. And I'm like, baby, nobody's going to give you this man social. So, and again, she's younger, sweet, sweet, sweet Christian person. She's the one who writes the prayers. But I'm like, nobody's gonna give you this social. They're not gonna give you this. I mean, she was reaching out to everybody she could to try to get this. I'm like, they're not gonna give you this. You're gonna I'm gonna get you in the apartment, or you're gonna have to wait till I get down there. So once I got down there, I went in, and like I said, the apartment was bad because passed in the apartment, but there were also other health issues that he was having prior to passing, and I walked in on that, and it was bad. It was just bad. So when Joe walked in with me, he's like, Shannon, we can't be in here. This is a biohazard. We'll get sick because, again, there were things even beyond him dying there that he just had all over the apartment in different places that were just not healthy. He needed, at that point, Grumpy needed somebody to come in and take care of him. And actually, if not, he really should have been in a home. And I'm still trying to wrap my mind around it. I've been doing things in my apartment because one of the things that did for me was say, have your stuff in order. I don't want to leave where you have, because it wasn't that he wasn't unneat because he had a certain method. I'm not gonna say he was the cleanest cat, but everything was in a certain place, but it still wasn't organized. So I should have been able to walk in his apartment and go, okay, here's a safety box key if you do things right, or here's where the important papers are. He wasn't like that. He just had bills and paperwork and boxes and bins and really boxes. Because I had tried to help him with organizing, and I helped him start putting stuff in the bins. And then he kind of got belligerent on wanting to do that. So I was like, the hell with it. And I started packing up stuff that I didn't need. And thank God when I was there, I put it in the closet right behind the front door. So when we walked into the madness, Joe was able just to go in to that front door, pick it up, put it outside. Because the smell was, it was bad. But yeah. So my Grumpy's car, one of the brothers, I guess the younger brother, I don't know, had some issues. And I said, well, look, if you guys got cars, if that's an issue that I have this car, then tell you what, let's just sell it and split the proceeds. So that's what's supposed to happen, is that the youngest brother has the key. Hopefully he will do it honestly. And he's supposed to sell the car, and then the proceeds should be split among 5 people. There is a 6th brother, but he is autistic, and I don't know where he's at. I'm waiting for the death certificate so that I can get a hold of hopefully his mom. And what I need to do is go through the Texas child support courts to see, based on what I'm going to write and the copy of the death certificate and all that, I'm going to send them, whether or not they will release her information to me or get my information to her. and then I can educate her on everything because I talked to the railroad pension board, and since the young man is autistic, he's eligible for either all or a portion of Monty's pension that, depending on the level of his autism, can help him or help his mom. And if y'all, some of y'all don't know me, but for those of you who've talked to me, you kind of, or even pick up on my personality, I have enough wherewithal and care for another human being, which is one of my issues of contention with Monty, why I really didn't want to have to handle his stuff, is that I do feel it is right to help that mama and help that young man if it is possible. And especially when you're dealing with autism. I had a friend of mine who used to be a respite worker for autistic children, as well as she fostered special needs children. And when, because Monty was like, well, he's slow. I was like, okay, that was when he first told me about this kid, and this is the last child supposedly he had. He's slow. I said, oh, okay. And I'm just thinking slow, like the people who took remedial reading and stuff like that. They just didn't learn as well. But then one day he told me he's autistic. I'm like, whoa, bro, that's a whole different ball game. That's because there's a spectrum of autism. And there's some that are highly functional. They're good. And usually most autistic people have a high level of intelligence too. They're usually genius in some area of their thing that they got going on. But the functionality in the regular world can be extremely different. And I'm like, whoa. And he kind of, because he was different. Grumpy was different. He cared about Grumpy. And so I'm like, bro, you need to write all this down and I sent him a packet. When he told me, hey, I'm going to have you handling all this stuff, I sent him a packet with everything on it. I sent him a packet where he could write everything out. When I got there, back when I first got there and was working for Wells Fargo, he didn't fill anything. It was sitting on his table. He wouldn't fill it out. And all he did was sit in the chair and sleep. He didn't care. And when we actually had talks about him possibly passing, I said, look, I'm going to explain something to you. And I mean what I say. The Lewis side, my mother's side of the family, we don't have people die and stuff not be in order. My mama's people, since I was a little girl, when her mama died, there was a hole, there was a casket. No, there wasn't no struggles for paying for stuff. Wasn't none of that. She got put in the ground. Nobody holding no signs, nobody begging for no money. When her mother died, this ain't even my grandfather, my mother's father. This is her mother's mother. When she died, my grandfather and they had everything arranged. She buried right next to her daughter. My grandfather was going to be buried next to his wife, who passed, but I guess it got too expensive. So when he died, he paid for a hole at a whole nother funeral place, his casket. Only thing my mother, her sister, and her brother had to do was put a headstone on it. We don't have a lot of drama. I knew this was going to be ghetto fab by who I was talking to. Life insurance, only $2,000 at the railroad. At least I haven't called to find out if there's anything else. I need to call. I just kind of been marinating and get my mind right. Because I needed to back up because the family had me hot. His extended family. We'll talk about that in a minute. Ninjas. Crazy as hell. So we'll talk about that because y'all know some certain people in families can be crazy as hell. And his cousins in Oklahoma, I put all them ninjas on phone block. Every last one of them is blocked off my phone. I'll get to it. Entertainment. So I've got to wait. Christina and her brother, the sister who writes the prayers, and her brother, they combined their money in order to get them cremated. Because we had no idea who the beneficiary is. Because all you can do is call, and then they're supposed to mail out packets. The companies won't give you that information because it's private. Okay? No idea. Okay, so that's up in the air. At this point, I put together his actual services. I didn't go through a funeral home because we didn't have the money to deal with that. I did his services for $100. I set up the whole brochure. I think I showed y'all last week. I reached out to a girl on Fiverr. That was $25. Part of it was come out of his wallet once I got in the apartment. That I got that money to give a gift to the pastor. And then I ordered the book that you're supposed to sign into when you get there. I ordered that off Amazon. All that together was about $100. Okay, because nothing was in order, and I still have to call because somebody told me to check with the insurance commission. I'll be doing that. I still got to call and find out about that. And even with that, if there's a beneficiary, all they're going to do is mail it to whoever's on file. So, but at least it goes to whoever it's supposed to go to. I'm okay with that. At least they know. Hot mess. Hot mess. Nothing in order. So Christina and her brother, who's their half siblings, they put their money together to get him cremated. I got them the information for the veterans, so they're going to get reimbursed for that. But I told her I wasn't struggling to put nobody in the ground. I'm not. I had a very detailed conversation with him, and I told him I will not be doing GoFundMe, and I will not be on the street holding a sign. He got out of the railroad. He got out with a monthly pension of over $3,000 a month. Plus, they gave you an annuity for $140,000. It's hanging in the closet in suits, shoes, and some watches. And I don't even know. I don't even think I got to the watch. I couldn't even get to the watches because when I walked in there, I don't even know where he kept them. Okay, I grabbed the wallet. I grabbed the key to the car. I grabbed the Bible. I grabbed my Benz out the closet, and we bounced. The smell was overwhelming, and we're going to use the big picture. He has a poster of himself on the wall, right? We're going to use that big picture. I didn't get to that because I would have had to walk through more of the madness on the floor, and I couldn't. And my friend was like, Joe was like, Shannon, we're not staying here. Because when I walked in, all I could think is, how can I fix this? Because I thought I had a plan of action already in play on how to pack the whole place, because I remember being there and I knew, well, he doesn't have much. I had called Catholic Charities. They were supposed to come pick up the furniture and any clothes. I was going to have bagged his suits. I was going to just bag and tie up. You know how you do the hangers so they could just lift and go. I was trying to put everything where they could just go. And then the goal was initially, I thought I was going to have the access to hey, Kathy. I thought I was going to have access to the apartment until Saturday. So I figured right after the funeral, the kids, and I call the younger siblings because I'm the oldest. I'm 53, and the youngest crew he had, minus this new kid that I can't find yet. Those kids, Christina and her brothers, are in their 30s, so they're babies to me. They're like children, so I always call them the kids. Me and Norris, the one who's incarcerated, that brother I know because he stayed with us a summer here in Arizona, and also he used to come down and stay with my grandmother. So I knew his mom, I knew him. I interacted with Norris, but he spent his whole life in prison because he grew up with money. He grew up grumpy. But I couldn't. What I saw was, I'm still trying to wrap my head around where Grumpy was at in the final stages, and his where he was psychologically at the final stages. Because he just really, I think he gave up. Well, I know he did. I know some other conversations I haven't shared, and I won't share with the kids, that got to me through other people. So I believe he just really, truly gave up, unfortunately. And instead of seeking help, because some people, but it's also time. When it's your time, you ain't going to escape it. When it's your time, you are not going to escape it. Hey, Brown Sugar, what's up, baby? Yeah, when it's your time, you're not gonna escape that. You're gonna and I'm running y'all y'all know I have to run you on here because the chat on here, it only comes up for a minute and disappears. So when it's your time, you're not gonna escape it. It's I call it the appointment. When you have that appointment, you're not gonna escape it. Christina, actually, the sister, she talked about unresolved issues and really generational curses, which I wasn't sure whether she recognized, because I think she wanted Monty to be a daddy so much. And she looks at him like, daddy. She's sweet as she wants to be, and I understand her intention. I understand, but he was never that. And not that he was a bad person, he was damaged. How people are reared is how they become. And Monty was reared as an only child. The sun and moon and stars rose and shined on his behind. So that was how he was in his entire life. And it was always about him. He had adopted brothers, he never really talked about them. He mentioned them to me like once or twice. I didn't know their names. I didn't know what relationship they had. I didn't know how they interacted as kids because it was never about them. It was always about him. I met one of the brothers, and they ratchet. Don't get me wrong. The Oklahoma crew, ratchet. We'll get into that later. Absolutely ratchet. So, like I said, there's times when, like, I was watching that whole Keisha. I remember when Keisha Cole did her show, and her mom, I think somebody mentioned Frankie. And at first I was like, oh, this is a lot. But then I realized sometimes people need to identify that you're not the only one that has a ratchet, jacked up family. And during my course of time, and even in ministry, I've met people on my journey who came from families who had drug issues. And people who are in that drug, or they're alcoholics, or any kind of addictive personalities, those people are quite special. And it has a drastic impact on the family. People who have been raised kind of like Grumpy was, where, he thought, and he sport, because he would do this. That's little kids do that. I don't want to. That's what children do. You're a grown individual. That's not, but that's because that behavior was not stopped as a child. It was allowed. So a grown little boy is what you became for your whole life. And that is, unfortunately, it impacted his relationship with his children. It impacted his life. It even impacted, I believe, while he's dead. So, because if it's not my way, I don't want to. I'm going to do it my way. And even if it's my way to cut nose off to spite face. And we have to be very careful about that. Even to the point of, if the life ain't the life I want, you don't see the blessing in the life that you have. Boy in a man body. That's exactly what it was. He was a grown little boy in a man's body. And some of those behaviors, well, quite a few, have passed down to us in different ways. Because I can look at the myself and the extended siblings, and I see it. I see the generational curses, and I got to meet the extended family. Definitely see it. So tell y'all a little bit about them. So first, so comes some of it from entertainment on ghetto-ness. So I knew one of the cousins. His name is John. Ain't no shame in my game. So I do have a brother, a half brother. Me and Christina, it's her full brother, my half brother. His name's Jonathan. So don't get them twisted. Two different people. But we have a cousin named John who's out of Oklahoma. But John used to live here in Arizona. And when I was a little girl, I thought John was in his 60s back then, because John looked old as hell back then. Well, John ain't nothing but 65. So that tells you how old he looked way back when. I hadn't seen John in years, but I knew him as a little girl, and I knew him in my teen years, and I knew him as a grown person. He lived here in Arizona for a period. He's lived between Arizona and Oklahoma. Ratchet. So when Monty passed, I got a hold of cousin. Everybody has that family member who's the busybody who can get a hold of everybody. That's our cousin Lynette here in Arizona. So I got in touch with her. And I said, look, I need you to contact the Oklahoma crew and Texas crew. I didn't know them, Monty. Again, nothing written down. I said, and he's passed. This is what's going on. I'm handling everything right now. And I was working with Christina as best I could. But again, Christina only, I don't know exactly how she did with her mom, but her mom probably had a little more in order than what Monty did. I liked her mom. I really did. I met her mom twice. I liked her mom. Her mom was genuine. I liked Norris's mother, Pam. I liked Christina's mom. And she's passed too. So both them very, Pam was always very nice, and Christina's mom was genuine. That's what I just got a very genuineness about her mom. And I like genuine people. I don't like fake phony. I don't like fake defunct. She was just genuine. And behind the scenes, mine like, yeah, I said this to her, and I told her, I'm a snatcher. I said, you stop. Because I would talk to him just how I felt, because I didn't really care. And I was like, first of all, you stop. You don't talk to none of our mothers in that way. When you didn't do anything to support those women, they had to take you to court to get half the money they did get, and they didn't get all the help from you they should have gotten. So you don't have the right to talk to that woman in any way other than to be kind. Child, bye. Bye. Anyway, we won't even go there. So Monty's people are, and I realized he inherited after dealing with his cousins, They think they can control and manipulate people and get over or play people. Okay, so we're getting ready to get into that. So I let the cousin here in Arizona know she got a hold of the Oklahoma crew. Monty died on the 5th. Well, body found on the 5th. I think he died between the 30th and the 1st. Because Danielle's sister last saw him on Saturday, which would have been the 30th. And she took him food. Somewhere between, we started calling on the 1st, and he wasn't answering his phone. And she had called every day up until that point. And his car was in the same place. He wasn't opening his curtains. So I think he died between the 30th and the 1st. So the body call or the call for the welfare check, I didn't do until I got the call from Danielle's sister, Sister Parker. And I did that on the 5th. So that's when they got the landlord to open and found the body. So the information went out to all the cousins and family on the 5th. My cousin Lynette here, she got a hold of the Oklahoma people. That word spread there. That was the 5th. I was supposed to go to work the very next day on the 6th. At about 4 o'clock in the morning, my phone is ringing. I have a splitting headache, probably because I'm dealing with the stress of all of this. Cousin John, Ratchet, he calling. And I just ignore it because it's 4 in the morning. He lived here, so you should know what the hell time you're calling me. He's leaving messages, then a text, and finally I set up, because he's calling back to back to back. I'm like, what the hell? Because I was supposed to go to work. And so he leaves him, and I pick up the phone. I finally call because I was getting pissed off because he's calling. I said, John, I'm supposed to work today. What do you need? Oh, I'm here at your daddy's apartment. Why? It's locked. My ninja, as it should be. Oh, I checked his car, and his car's locked. Money's dead. The hell's wrong with you? Oh, yeah, I know. So why in the hell would you be at an apartment that's locked, and why would you be checking his car? All of that should be locked. What are you there for? Oh, well, I'm here at his apartment, and they said that there's a Nick, gave the name of the man, the last name, which is his. I'm so happy he made it this man, which is his emergency person. I said, yes, I know Nick. I've been to Nick's house several times. I've met Nick. Had a cocktail at his house with him. To hell. When Hillary was alive, we all went over there to Nick's house. Hell. Everything's locked. Hey, the Oracle, what's up? Everything should be locked, bro. What the hell's wrong with you? Well, his body is at the medical examiner. Yeah, that's where it should be. Hell. Well, I'm going to go and see Jonathan in Plainview. Oh, okay. Go see Jonathan. Kathy, right on. Oh, I'm not done. There's more I got to tell y'all. Enjoy. I've had to marinate. These people had my chest tight. My back was hurting. My head was hurting. These is some straight up ninjas. Dismiss, blocked. All phone block. Girl, block. And I tried, y'all. I tried to be peaceful. I tried to be Christian. And the most Christian thing I did was blocking all their A's. That's the most, because they almost opened up the kennel and the casket and met. Now, my last name is Lewis and not Smith. My mother did not name me after my father. I'm happy she didn't, because I am not a Smith. But I got the temperament, and as his mama said, I got 2 times that temperament. And I have done everything in the name of Jesus. I thank him he has his hand on my life, because if he didn't, I'd be sitting in the prison cell next to my brother. I'm just saying, because I have a whole nother individual that people don't want to meet. She's special. And if it wasn't for Jesus, y'all, like I told you at that little company I was at, that little girl was pushing every button. And I'm thinking, you really have no idea who I am. And if you knew, and if you don't know right now, you should be thankful that you walked up out of here, because you lucky I didn't come up in here and whoop your behind. And then some. Because you about to get snatched up across this table talking to people like they somebody's dog. And I was like, and I knew when I walked out there, because my friend even said, she said, one of my other friends told me, you're Christian. She said, I need to get to where you're at. And I told her, I said, I'm going to tell you, it's not something I did. It's really something he did for me, because I already know who I am. And I know that person in that casket. And I know that person in that kennel. And you really want to leave her there, because she's a straight fool. And I know that I could top my brother. My brother is in prison for armed robbery, attempted murder. Now, I might not have been an armed robbery, but the other part, you push the right buttons, it could come to the table. And I wouldn't be doubtful of it. And I could eat a meal. Because to me, you might, if you take me there, you deserve it. You deserve it. Oh, Jesus is good. I'm like, thank you. Keep your hand on my life, because I'm a fool. I'm that honest. I ain't trying to hide behind no fig leaves. I keep it REAL with God. I do, because I already know me. That's a lot of people try to fake the funk on who they are. Not I. Not I. I know who I am. I know. I've met her. Look, she scared me. I'm like, oh, okay. You a little scary. You's a little scary. Woo! I know me. Ugh. Girl, okay, Kathy, I'm getting ready to go there. So let me tell you the rest of the Ratchet people. So, just some entertainment. These ninjas. So I turn around and I start getting the calls from the extended family people. I'm calling and I'm finding out there's only a $2,000 life insurance policy. We have no idea who the freaking beneficiary is. For all I know, it could be my brother in prison. But we also think, hey, it could be his common law wife. We don't know who the hell the beneficiary is. Okay? So it's up in the air. I don't know, because I still have to call Kathy. I still have to do that call to the thing. And I just haven't done it because I needed a mental health moment. And dealing with his drama, I first had to deal with the ghetto family and get rid of them. So initially, I got a call by one of his cousins. And her name was Aquanetta. Okay. She's the sister of the John, the one who showed up at the apartment the day after, knowing he was dead, trying to get into his stuff. She the sister of him. So I get a phone call, and I warned my sister Christina. I said, look, I don't know the Oklahoma crew. The only one I know from Oklahoma who's out there is John, and I'm not a fan of John. John is ratchet, and he's ghetto. He's also a prison ninja. So I already know he's a hood ninja. I already know. I met John a couple times. Look, as a kid, I read his card. As a teenager, I read his card. John is ninja, okay? Ghetto prison ninja. I already know who he is, okay? So his sister called me. She told me she was a veteran. She had told me, stuff, and she had mentioned stuff that I already knew. I had already done. I had already contacted my contact at the veterans. I already had called the veterans. I found out that they only do reimbursement. They don't do upfront. We don't know. And money-wise, like I told, as far as I'm concerned, Grumpy made his decisions. He wanted suits and shoes and shiny watches that he couldn't wear at the end because of the incontinence. And all he did was sleep in his chair. I'm not standing on a corner with a sign, and I'm not doing a GoFundMe. I'm not doing any of that, because he had the money to handle this. As far as I'm concerned, if you weren't worried about it at the end, why should I? I went ahead and I wasn't even going to do the services. It wasn't until my brother in prison, his kids started contacting me, and I realized they actually had met him in an earlier time, and to them, he was a grandpa. And he may have been a little different with them. I don't know. But sometimes all you know is like Keisha Cole's drug addict mama. That's all they know. Even though she was jacked, that was still their mama. I got an associate of mine out in Lubbock, Texas. Her mama was crackhead, and some of the stuff, and she loved her mama dirty draws. And some of the stuff she told me she went through, I'm like, how in the hell? But that's all she knew. So that's mama to her. And sometimes the most ratchet people, that's all you know for a mama. Okay? That's all you know for a daddy. That's all you know from a granddaddy. And so that is what you know, and that people put them in, I think, mental context in order to make it acceptable, to make it as normal as they can, even as abnormal as it is. Okay? So the grandkids got in touch with me. I'm their aunt, and I met through the phone. I got a text from one of my brothers, name's Norris, his daughter, and actually she works for the Loves out in Dallas, and I might have met the baby. I told her, I said, baby, I drove a truck. She's been working there for over 9 years. I was like, shocked. Um, the other daughter, so those two got in touch with me, and then I realized you got to put something together because people need closure. See, me, I could have walked away and just went down there and did this and got what we needed and called it a day and left the body on the state. Because at that point, that's where I was at. I was not, I couldn't come out. I've already, just for me getting down there, I owe, hold on. So, 5, 3, I'm estimating I'm going to owe Joe about $500 or $600 just for me getting down there. Not to mention because I paid for my own food, and thank God it would have been even more than that because a lady from my church, her daughter, got one of our rooms for free. So it was kind of like a buy one get one. That helped us because it would have been more than that. I would probably been close to $1,000 just to get down there, okay, and handle stuff that wasn't in order. So the first part was the cousin who called everybody out here. She gonna be on the phone with me because they thought he had money because he liked to flash, take people to dinner and lunch when he would come into town and flash money. And he owed me $800. My ninja, I don't know what to tell you. I hope you worked that out before he died, because I don't know what to tell you. Even if there was money, I'm not giving you $800. So he didn't have no money, so you damn sure ain't getting nothing. But even if he did, that was between you and him. Once he died, that debt is gone. It's in that casket. You might want to go talk to him about it. I don't know what to tell you. It's on my page, Kathy. I got it on. It's on the link in here. So I don't know what to tell you. Thank you though. But yeah, it's on my page. I have it in a link. It's in the information. So if you go on the information, it's in there. But I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you about this ninja. Okay. This gets good. I'm not done with y'all. This is deep. This is deep. This ghetto family drama. So she gonna tell me about some $800. I'm like, okay, I don't know what to tell you. So I warned Christine, the sister. I said, because Christine had been in contact with her too. Because I told Christine, if anything happens to me and anything happens to Monty, and you need to contact family, because Monty didn't introduce those 3 kids to anybody. I didn't even know they existed until I got down there on the truck with Conway. And when I called my great aunt, who's here, the only one left of my grandmother's group, she's like, what other children? All I know is you and Norris. Okay, she knew me and she knew Norris because Norris came down. And Norris's mom was the only woman that the Grumpy, was married to. So she said, what other kids? I said, oh, there's 4 more children. She goes, 4 more children? Where the hell are they? I said, in Plainview, and the other one might be in Amarillo. I don't know. He's autistic, and I'm trying to figure that out on Darkest. Shannon. I said, and before I left Arizona, wait for it. So let me kind of explain who she is. I'm jumping a little bit, but y'all will enjoy the story. So Monty's mom, there were 4 siblings. There were 3 girls, 1 boy. My uncle who baptized me was her brother, and he was a pastor. I became Christian through his church. We joined his church as when I was growing up as a little girl. Me, my mom, my stepfather, and my 2 brothers. So we were there for a while. That's really where my other Christian foundation came through, was under my uncle. He was the last one of the siblings that passed, but his wife is still alive. So she's a great aunt by marriage. Monty's regular aunt. I called her to tell her about Monty on the 5th. Before I left here on the 17th, her sister had died, and one of my cousins, her son, had died. 2 deaths, and she had one of the grandkids of the children was in hospital for COVID, and he's young, college age. Before I left here, 2 other deaths in the family, okay? Woohoo, and all under this woman. And I was like, on Darkest, are you okay? And she said, baby. I said, I'm so sorry. Because I had given her news about Monty, She's already lost my uncle, which was less than a year ago. And it wasn't COVID. He was on dialysis. So it's just his time. They're old. I mean, my Aunt Darkest is probably in her late 80s, early 90s. But still look good, though. Sister was already, Aunt Darkest was always a very pretty black woman. She still looked good. At eight, Aunt Darkest fine as hell. I'm like, you gone, girl, because you, even in the 90s, you look good. Woman was sharp as a tack. Let me see if I have a picture of them. Hold on, y'all. Let me see if I got a picture. Aunt Darkest, that woman was always been pretty. Let me see here. Hold on. Let me see if I got a picture. Y'all, hold on. Let me go back. I think I downloaded some pictures of them. Hold on. Let me see. Albums. Selfies. So screenshots. Let me see. I had a bunch of screenshots. Let me see. Hold on, y'all. See if I can find it. Yeah, my Aunt Darkest was always very pretty. So I had to tell her that, and she didn't know about the extra kids. So she didn't even know about Christina, Mackenzie. She didn't know about none of them, okay? So she didn't know nothing about these extra children. And because she was like, what other kids? And I told her the other kids. She didn't know nothing about them. Where is this at? I'm trying to see. Y'all, I got all these pictures on here, but I was trying to see. I thought I had a picture of them. I thought I had saved it. Maybe I have it. Let me see. I'm going to go back here. Oh, library. Let's go back here. Hold on. So she didn't know nothing about any of the kids. I'm seeing if I downloaded one of the pictures from them off from one of my cousins online. Okay. I don't know if y'all can see this. Y'all see my Aunt Darkest? And that's my uncle. So that's my Aunt Darkest. And that's my uncle who baptized me as a pastor. That's actually at the church too. And so Aunt Darkest always looked good to me. She's always been a very pretty lady. And that's one of his last pictures when he was doing better. That's Monty's. Thank you, Oracle. Yeah, sister was fine, and she's married into the family. So that uncle was my grandmother's brother, and he was the only boy out of the four of them. So Monty's mom's brother. So he's the last living one of them that passed, and the only remaining person that was married into the family is Aunt Darkest. So I called her, and I knew her son who passed because I knew, was it Ray or Leonard? I get them mixed up. And I babysit their kids. I babysit the kids. Thank you, Kathy. I babysat the kids. So I knew the family. I know the family, right? So at this point, I took to tell her this before I head out, and I said, thank you, culinary. I have to tell her, and then Lynette had called me and told me that her sister had passed, and then our cousin, which is her son, Leonard or Ray, I get them mixed up. It's two brothers. I get them mixed up. That he had passed, and he was also military. I think he's the one who worked for the Air Force. I can't remember. He was military too, and that he had passed, and I babysit their kids. So I'm talking about babysit, changing diapers, all that, helping with potty training. I'm older than them. Whew. So anywho, I would tell her that, head to Lubbock with that madness, get there, and before I head out, the cousin Aquanetta, who is John's sister, the one who showed up at the apartment, she calls me. Funny as hell, kind of reminded me of Danielle type humor. And I was like, she funny as hell, I can't wait to meet you. But everything in me said, I don't trust you. I just did that. Y'all got that innate feeling. You funny, but I don't trust you. Cause I can sit at the table. Y'all see I work for that crazy company. I can interact with my worst enemy and be just as kind and cordial. But no, I don't trust you. And I've learned from the Lord. Usually that feeling, my grandmother, Monty's mom used to have a saying, follow your first mind. I've learned to follow your first mind because normally if you got that feeling is right on the damn money. Okay? I'm not done. So, Aquanetta, talked to her on the phone. And I got gnats, y'all. They come. I gotta get somebody out here to deal with the back. The back is bad, y'all. I got trees. It's like a forest back here right now. We had rains. I had air conditioning issues. I had the plumbing thing. I'm gonna get them to fix all of that because the dirt and now it's like a dip. I'm irritated. And I got my smoker. I ain't even put it together because right now I can't even deal with the back yet because I'll deal with that later. And I'm gonna deal with all that later. Anywho, back to the story. So, and the gnats are coming in. Gnats and moths. Gnats and moths. Those are my two big ones. So, turn around. I end up contacting I end up getting contacted by Aquanetta. This is the cousin from Oklahoma, the sister of John. And I knew John because, like I said, I met him when I've known John since I was a little girl. So, and matter of fact, he knows from the family that I go by the name on my father's side, or excuse me, on my father's side of the family. They call me by my middle name, Doll. They don't normally call me Shannon. Some of them do and don't now that I'm older. But as a child growing up, I was always called Doll. I was never called Shannon. I was always called by my middle name. Hey, Miss, what's up, baby? Micheline, what's up? So I always was called by my middle name. I was never called by my first name. My mother's side called me Shannon. My father's side called me Doll. As a matter of fact, when John was at the table, because we did go eat, and I'll get to that in a minute, we ate in Lubbock with him and his two sisters. Um, he said, y'all just call her Doll. We call her Doll out there. She go by, you saying Shannon, but she really, we call her Doll. Because on his side of the family, my grandmother's side, I went by Doll, Doll, my middle name. So, and matter of fact, my friend Cubby, well, that's her nickname. My friend Cubby, also aka Lisa, she calls me Doll. Hey, Doll, because if you close to me, you can call me by my middle name. You got to be real close. you got to be real close. So, and most otherwise, you do call me by my first name. That's my formal name. Kind of like Aretha Franklin said, I'd like to be called Miss Franklin. I ain't mad at her. Because you don't know me. You don't know me like that. And I'm getting that, especially the older you get. And that's why when I talked to Norris's, my brother's two girls, one who's incarcerated, his two daughters, I was like, and I was saying to them, because I talked to one of them on the phone and I kept saying, ma'am. She said, no, ma'am, you don't call me ma'am. You my auntie. I had to do the Matrix move and go, well, damn, I am your aunt. I hadn't met the baby, but very respectful, both her and her sister love both of them. One I met, and the other one, Norris's two girls, I don't know what that woman he did, but we gonna give her an award. Her children were probably some of the best behaved children I had seen. Even Christina and the other two kids, my Mackenzie's, their girls were very well behaved. Because some people, you want to be snatching their kids and punching them in the face. I can't stand bad kids. Oh, come to their house, girl. I have to kind of deal with this. So I just said I took some time, y'all, because mentally it has been. Y'all can understand once I'm done with this story. We might be more than an hour because it's already an hour. So enjoy the entertainment. My one friend Linda, she said, "Girl, you need to write a damn movie." She said, "Tyler Perry ain't got nothing on you and your family." I said, girl. And she told me, she said, I'm trying to get to where you are because as soon as that girl would have told me about $800, she said she would have met Lindella. I said, not Lindella. She said Lindella would have been on the table. Linda would have been gone. Oh, she said, I know you love Jesus. She said, because as soon as she would have brought up $800, she said, how do you fix your mouth? And I just told you my biological father's dead. And you going to fix your mouth to tell me he owed you $800. Girl, Lindella would have come to the table. I said, girl, I handled it in the way. I said, oh, I don't know what to tell you about that because nigga didn't have no money. So I can see why he owed you $800. I hope y'all worked that out. That was my comment. Basically, it's over. Don't come to me thinking you're going to get something because ain't nothing to get. And if there was something to get, honey, that was your agreement with him in the casket. Before the casket. Y'all need to work that out. Who does that? Oh, Shannon, look. My beneficiary, my best friend. Probably my backup is going to be Joe. I said, Joe, I'm gonna let y'all know if I owe you any money, y'all better get it out the life insurance. And that's because I said, but anybody come to you from family, friends, a debt collector, my ninja, I don't know what to tell you. Y'all might have wanted to get that before she hit the casket. What the hell? Who does that? Back up. So the Aquanetta chick, she said, girl, that's what I told. That's what I told Christina. And Christina said, I said, Christina, oh, I got more for y'all. These ninjas are comical on his extended family. Comical. And then you wonder why Grumpy was who he was. Let the orchestra play. Because he came from the madness. So, Aquanetta calls me. She's funny, hilarious. Y'all wait for it. So she said, and I said, boom, boom, boom. And she says, okay. She says, well, she said, I asked, and I told her, I said, right now, I don't even know if there's going to be a funeral, Aquanetta. I'll let y'all know. I said, because Monty didn't have anything. I said, and the only thing I've been able to come up with is that there was a $2,000 life insurance policy. We don't know who the beneficiary is. All I did was know they're going to mail it out. Girl, the troller. They're going to mail it out to whoever is a beneficiary, and they can't tell me who that is, and the person's supposed to get it in XYZ number of days. I said, we're all watching our mailboxes. We have no idea. Christina's on the accounts in Lubbock, and the only thing that she's going to get on that is going to get whatever probably was the last money from the pension and any little change he might have had in there. Okay, that's all she's going to get. And I'm going to tell, and like I told her, he had already gone through the $140,000. What she don't realize, because I think they think there's more money in there, but I'm going to tell you what I know. I was there, so I know how he went through it. I know it's hanging up in the closet, in shoes, and some watches that are somewhere in that damn apartment, because they're somewhere in the apartment. Because I didn't even, where he was at, he had heavy incontinence, and he also was not able to hold his bowels. He had diapers all around the apartment. Wherever he got out of them, they were just on the floor. That's what I walked into. There was sticky, gooey stuff on the floor when I tried to walk around the apartment. I don't know if that was from his body fluid or if it was from him having bowel and pee issues. When I walked in, there were diapers everywhere. Wherever he got out of them, he left them with whatever was in them. I don't know if he was out of his mind. I don't know what was going on at the end. He didn't tell me so that he could have gotten help, but I don't know that he really wanted help, okay? It was bad. It was bad. Hey, Tanya, it was bad. So I'm just letting y'all know this is what I walked into. The odor was bad. It was bad. Where in his room, and I'm presuming that might have been the fluid from the body, it was on the carpet, just black and gooey. And I was able to grab his wallet, grab his keys. I grabbed an address book just to get a hold of somebody. Very serious. Yes, Kathy, I think he got very depressed. He felt his golden ticket was what was between his legs. And since he could no longer stand over a toilet and pee and lay on top of women and screw and have babies, I believe that he got extremely depressed, and I think he just gave up. Well, I know he did. There's some things I know that I have not shared based on a conversation I had with one of his friends that was passed down to me. I think he was so depressed, he just really gave up, based on what I was told. And, the sad part is that I tried to tell him, look, you're sitting up here because he thought that what made him a man was a dick in between his legs. And I'm going to say this to you guys, whoever listens to this ever in your life, whether you're female or you're male, there are people who don't have bottom body parts. There are people who are born part way and they have colonoscopy and catheter bags for their urine and their pee. There are people who go into severe accidents. There are people I was born blind. Thank you, Jesus, I can see now because I had a surgery when I was a baby my mother's father paid for. But there are people who are born blind. And if they can live this life and find something to appreciate in it, live it. Do not let health issues or any of those other issues stop you from living, because somebody is always worse off than you. For Grumpy, that was his life. That was his world, was laying on a woman and standing over and thinking that's what made him male. What makes you male is makes you a man is taking ownership of your family, your children, speaking into their life, and being somebody worthwhile in this world. You're just a grown male. There's grown boys who are there's little boys who are male. What you want to be is a man. What you want to be is a woman. And it's like you get women who don't want to have hysterectomies because, oh, I'm not a woman anymore. Are you for real? I had a hysterectomy in my late 20s. Yeah, colonoscopy. No, he did, but that wasn't the procedure he had. This procedure he had was he actually had a catheter because he was incontinent as far as urine. And so he was on a catheter, but they moved it up and it was going to be a permanent port for the catheter. And for Monty, he was now, because he had prostate cancer, he was impotent and he could no longer have an erection. And then all of a sudden, he was having issues with being able to control his bladder, and he became incontinent. I don't believe his incontinence had to do with his cancer, and he was done with the cancer. I believe his incontinence came because of his mismanagement of his diabetes. So if you guys don't know, you mismanage diabetes, you can end up with incontinence issues. And he was not managing his diabetes because he didn't have incontinence issues after the prostate cancer, and he had been cleared of the prostate cancer for years. Now he was impotent, but he could still go to the toilet and pee. But his mismanagement of his diabetes is what I really think impacted him having incontinence issues. Anyway, I believe he got really depressed. Kathy, you hit it right on the head. I really believe that is the major issue. And I believe he got very, 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 very depressed. When I talked to this cousin, correct, that is part of the diabetic ride if you don't manage it. You're absolutely right. When I talked to the cousin, she told me, she said, this is the Aquanetta chick. This is the sister of John, Ratchet. Funny as hell. She had a sense of humor, reminded me of Danielle. Very much funny, but Danielle was good-hearted people. This woman, not so much. So she told me who she was. She called. I called her back. She called. I can't remember if she called or texted me, whichever one it was. And we ended up talking on the phone, and she told me who she was. She was out of Oklahoma. She was Monty's first cousin. She gave me some background, and she said, I've heard about you. I've heard about you for years. And then I told her everything going on because we did, hey, Ruby, what's up? We didn't have, she didn't know me. So she said she saw me when I was a baby with my mom. She hadn't seen me since then. So she knew me from when I was a baby. And I'm Monty's firstborn child. So, of course, So I do know my mother had taken me out there on the farm when I was a baby, when they in Plainview. But she said she met me when I was a baby. So I hadn't seen this woman. I don't know this woman. I'm talking to her. Ratchet. Folks, Ratchet is hell, girl. And so she funny, had me laughing, and she says, what do you mean he didn't have no money? And I said, well, right now I'm trying to figure out everything. I said, because as of right now, we don't have any money to bury him. I said, the VA is only going to do reimbursement. And I start going through everything. I told her everything I did. There's nothing hidden. I mean, we're trying to deal with somebody's remains, and this is stuff that happens when people die. So it was nothing hidden. And I said, but he didn't have any money. She's like, well, Monty used to come out here, and she said, and when I asked him, she said, when I asked that ninja, she didn't use the word ninja, y'all know what she used, did he have his stuff ready in case something happened? Listen to what Grumpy told her. And I know she's telling the truth. He told her, Shannon will get down here and take care of everything. Baby. How do you do that? I was like, well, and one of the mother of the Christian mother of my church, the one who helped her and her daughter help with getting one of the rooms for free in Lubbock, she snapped back and she said, And that family has money. Her family, they're like black millionaires here in Arizona. They're a family I know from the AME church that I used to go to. Her family, they got wings of hospitals named after parts of their family in Michigan. They got money. They're very, very, very comfortable family. And she just snapped back and she said, thank you, Ruby. Appreciate you, baby. So she's telling me this, and I'm like, so I'm sitting there like, and she said, yeah, he told me, Shannon will get here and take care of it. And so, no, I did. I got there and I helped. I did. But it just drama. But I'm thinking to myself, how self-centered, how selfish, and you leave nothing in order, okay? Even in death, this brother was selfish. God bless him. Oh, girl, God bless him for that. Kathy, I don't know about that. Because not all people think truckers make a lot of money. Some do, some don't. It's very few that really make a lot of money. Most of them only making around 40 something a year or less. Some make above that depending on how they work the game, but it is a game in order to make that money. So you got Mr. Lane, you funny. You got jokes. So, and I told him, I said, I won't. I said, and you already know, I'm still trying to get back on my feet, but even still, even if I had the money, I am not, you had $140,000. I'm not coming out the crack of my butthole and trying to put you in the ground when this is something that should have been handled. I sent you a packet. I now don't have, I didn't know who insurance was. I'm calling around to the railroad. Luckily enough, I had contacts. His best buddy, who was the emergency contact for the apartment, he had been an engineer for the railroad. He told me, and I was like this, and I'm contacting people. I'm getting it done, okay? She tells me this, and I'm just like, wow, that is bold and presumptuous. But you leave nothing for me to do this in. But he knew that I was going to be the one who is, because of who my character is, to try to get it handled, okay? And I told sister, I said, look, Christine, I'm going to explain something to you. I don't have the money, and I'm not going to strap myself. I'm going to get down there and do what I can to be as respectful and do what the Bible says and honor them as best I can. And if it wasn't for the grandkids calling me, it wouldn't have been no funeral. If it wasn't for the nieces, Norris's kids, unless Christina was going to do it, I wasn't going to do it. And when they contacted me, I was like, people need closure. And I didn't realize that because they took things hard. And she sent me pictures of when they were little girls and my brother was not in prison, they went to his house when he was with the common law wife. So that would have been in some more time in his 40s or a little earlier. And so they went to the house and like one of them said, and I told her, I said, baby, there's no money. She said, oh, I didn't call about money. I said, no. I didn't mean it in that way. What I'm trying to tell you is I'm having issues on even trying to have a funeral right now because there's no money for it. I said, and I'm trying to figure things out. And she goes, oh, she says, no, I didn't want any money. I said, that's not what I mean. There's just no, I said, that's what I meant. I didn't mean it in any way like that. And very nice. Her and her sister both contacted me. Very nice too. And I know Norris has 5 girls. So there's 3 other ones haven't met yet. I even met my great nieces and nephews, because the one baby that did come, that baby got like 5 kids. I'm like, ooh, baby, and she looked young. I'm like, baby, please don't have no more babies. But they were very well behaved. All of them were very well behaved. And she, as soon as I walked in, first time ever meeting me, she just grabbed me and put her head in my shoulder and bawled like a baby. Because to them, that was grandpa. And I was like, and I remember my mother's father as a grandfather. And I love my grandfather. My grandfather, yeah, he was a grandfather. But I don't know I don't know how it was. Because when they asked for stuff, she said, does he still have, one of them asked for the bear that sang, and the other one asked for a clapping monkey. And my heart just was like, wow. Because those are things that grandchildren remember and children remember. And that's all they wanted was a bear and a clapping monkey. So, madness. Anyway, so when I got in the apartment, we walked into that. Joe pulled me outside because had I been by myself, I would have went in there and tried to fix it. Because all I could think when I walked in, I was in such shock, is how do I fix this? Because my whole plan of what I was going to do, it just got shot through the window. Because I didn't expect to step into Biohazardville. I didn't expect to step into that. And I just stepped into biohazard. Okay. So at this point, I got down there. Christina couldn't get down there because her daughter was in school. Jonathan McKenzie, like, well, we gonna keep working. I don't think they really wanted to deal with it. And then they were like, I don't want his ashes. Well, I don't want his ashes, and I don't want his ashes. I don't know who got his ashes because they ended up paying for it, but we'll get to that in a minute. And I told him, I'm not gonna be disrespectful. If you don't want the ashes, get them to me. I don't want ashes in my house, but I would have taken them somewhere out and sprinkled them. I would have done at least that. So at this point, I get to the apartment. When I get there, we walk into the madness. I get in there. We grab my bins. Joe gets my bins from behind the door. He talks to me. And Joe says, I need to talk to you outside. I was like, okay. Because I'm just looking like, and I was like, you're going to go back to the hotel. He goes, oh, no, I'm not going to the hotel. We're leaving. He said, you can't fix that. He's like, Shannon, we can't stay here and deal with this. This is unhealthy. And I said, okay, Joe, go ahead and go back to the hotel. He says, oh, F no, I'm not leaving you here. And I said, I got to try to fix this. He says, Shannon, you can't fix this. You can't fix this. And all I could do, because I'm thinking, my God, I didn't want to leave the apartment in this condition for the apartment complex. Y'all know how you be thinking. I'm like, I don't want to leave this in this condition for the apartment complex. And and Joe said, Shannon, I'll pay somebody to come do this, but we are going to get sick if we go through that. And he kept saying, I'm so sorry. Because it was that bad. It was that bad. I said, I don't know. He didn't tell me he was this messed up. He didn't tell me, Joe. And he says, I'm so sorry, Shannon. I'm so sorry. So at this point, I said, let me just grab. He says, where is your stuff? And hindsight, I don't even know. It's like God knew ahead of time. Before I left there, I had left some bins there, and I put them directly. There's like a coat closet as soon as you open the front door. My bins were directly in that everything that was mine was in that coat closet. He goes, thank you, God. And Joe went in. He said, boop, boop, just right out the door. Pretty much opened the door, went behind the door, boop, boop. He had to wash his shoes off with the disinfectant we had brought. I actually physically, the goo was so bad in that apartment, I took my shoes off at the front door and just threw them back in the apartment. I had to walk back to his truck barefoot because I don't know what that was. And I was in like some, those flip-flop slides. I got the wallet. I got the keys. Christina wanted a Bible. I picked up everything that was in hand reach. Boom, 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 boom. I went to the car, and when I got to the car, somebody had tried to break into the driver door. We think that was the cousin. I'm just saying. The one who showed up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Oh, I tried your daddy's car, and it's locked. My Ninja, as it should be locked. Who does that? We think it's him. That's who we think it is, and I'm going to tell y'all some conversation about this that might be him. Y'all, this is like a verbal movie. Enjoy. Woo! So, at this point, this ninja, he turns around, and I get there, and the car handle. Now, I can't prove it was the cousin. I can't prove it, so I'm just saying. You the one that showed up at 4 o'clock after knowing the man is dead. You the one that told me you tried to get into the car. The driver handle, somebody done snatched it back. I got photos. I took pictures of it. Most people that's going to break into a car is going to bust the window and go get what they want to get. Y'all, I don't know. Y'all do your own math. It gets better. It's much better. So, at this point, we grab the stuff. We bounce. I tell Christina, I take pictures of the inside apartment. I take pictures of the car handle. I wanted to let her know, because, again, they are younger than me, but I also want to be very fair. And I also want to let you know I ain't screwing you over because, this is the condition of what I walked into, okay? and therefore don't think anything's gone, anything's abnormal. This is what I did. This is what because I tried to be as transparent in this process as possible. I'm the one that told her about the accounts and that she was on them. And originally it was her and Nick. Somewhere along the line, he took Nick's name off. I don't know what took. Well, I think I know, but he took Nick's name off. But originally, I saw the paperwork, and he had put her and his buddy Nick because I told him I didn't want to be on there. So originally, that's who was on the accounts. Then all of a sudden, the Nick called me and he says, I talked to the credit union. I'm not on his accounts. I was like, oh, okay. So at this point, madness, total madness. I'm down there to deal with the funeral stuff. I arranged with the pastor directly. No funeral home. I got the brochure done, the obituary done through Fiverr, through a black girl on Fiverr from Ghana. She did a fabulous job. $25. I just put together the information. He lied so much that one of the cousin Lynette, she gonna send me stuff about he was the first black engineer for the railroad in Lubbock. He wasn't. He was a respiratory therapist. He wasn't. Half of what she told me was a lie. Well, majority of it. And so she asked me once she saw the obituary, she said, you didn't put on there that he was, I said, because he wasn't the first black engineer, because he wasn't an engineer for the railroad. He was a brakeman switchman. But he said, Monty lied a lot. He lied a lot to get y'all impressed and thought he was more than what he was. Then she said, well, he was a respiratory therapist. No, he wasn't a respiratory therapist. He was a respiratory tech. Hey, Tanya, he was a respiratory tech. I said, and I found out he lied about that because he was in a phone call with me and a friend of mine who's an RN. He realized he messed up, and then he came truthful with the fact he didn't finish the respiratory therapist program. And I'm hoping he's telling the truth about being a respiratory tech. I don't know if that's really true. I do know he worked for the railroad, though. I know that's true. And I know he was a brakeman switchman. I know that. And I know he trained people. I know that's true. I know that's true. But all that other stuff. So we did the funeral. Funeral was great. Joe said, Shannon, he said, on $100, you did a better funeral than a funeral home. It was a good funeral. And it was only an hour and a half. Because I told Joe, I said, I'm going to explain something to you. If that funeral is over an hour and a half, if you see me get up and start heading to the back, and you see me pick up the camera, because I was able to make arrangements, thank you to two friends of mine, for my brother who's incarcerated to attend via the chaplain, and the chaplains at the Texas facility he's at, love them. I was able to, they made arrangements for me to make the call to him, to tell him that Monty had passed. And it's hard when you hear a grown man on the phone cry like a baby, a grown male. I don't know if he's a man, but grown male. And, he's all I had. Will you write me this? And I know this brother. Like I said, he stayed with us for a summer, and he's come down in the summer. So I know his mom. I knew him. Will you, and I was like, yeah, I'll write you. And, and then I made arrangements because some friends of mine who had different family members incarcerated, they said, Shannon, they sometimes would let them come to the funeral. Well, I made arrangements with the chaplain to get him to attend via FaceTime. So I basically brought my tripod, put my phone on there. Thank God for my iPhone, y'all, to have ghetto service like I had back in the day. And he watched the whole service via the iPhone. And the chaplain, I love the chaplain. At the end, we talked about the Lord, and me and Christina got to say something, and both of our statements were about the Lord. She dealt with unresolved issues and generational curses, and I dealt with it's about Jesus. Get your life right, because you don't know when your appointment comes. And whatever you need to do, get your life right, because we don't know. Monty had a doctor's appointment on a Monday. He didn't make that appointment. So he was dead somewhere Saturday or Sunday. He didn't make the doctor appointment on Monday. He made the permanent appointment with the big doctor, the great physician, Jesus. And I pray and hope, I don't wish hell on nobody, even though he was ratchet on some levels. I pray and hope he got it right. That's the best I can say. I pray and hope he got it right. Funeral went really good. Joe even said, he said, Shannon, that was the best funeral I've been to. He said, it was good. He said there was nobody. He said, but also everything said there was so powerful. And he said it left me with stuff. The railroaders and his buddy Nick came up and said some pop. Monty's one thing was he had a strong work ethic. And Joe said, he says, I see where you get it because I got it from him. He says, you have work ethic like I've never seen. And he says, you'll work. And that's true. I'll work. I'll work. And I put up with some ratchet stuff at some companies. And he knows because Joe said, he said, and if it wasn't for his family and being able to, he said, I would have bounced. He says, and I understand you all you got. He said, but you truly have work ethic. And he says, and after listening to the railroaders talk about Monty, that was his plus. I will give him that. Monty worked hard, but he liked money, so he would work for money. One of the railroaders came up right after, and I already knew Nick, but they came up and they just showed mad love. And they were like, and one of them told me, he said, ma'am, you and your sister said some things, and y'all got me thinking on a spiritual level. I thank you for that. I was like, okay, he was so nice. Me and your dad, we were birthday twins. We both born in 1948 and were birthdays around the same time. We were birthday twins. He was a white guy, totally cool. Then there was a Latino guy. Your dad trained me, and now I'm an engineer. And I liked Monty. We called him Zuma. We liked Zuma. Zuma was cool. I was like, okay, just really nice that there's a brotherhood and a sisterhood in transportation, which is very interesting. You have it in trucking, you have it in railroad. And they were very, very nice. Even his mechanic showed up, Mitch, the mechanic. And the mechanic actually even worked on the pastor's truck, and our pastor's car. And the pastor like, it's a small world. My mechanic's here. And that was Monty's mechanic because all the railroaders use him because he has family working on the railroad. Anyway, there was pluses to the funeral. The funeral went very well. A lot of people needed closure. I got pictures with the railroaders. Let me see, y'all. Let's see if I can show y'all this. Let me show y'all. I got pictures with the railroaders. Hold on. Y'all, hold on. I'll show you at the funeral. Hold on. So this is my niece, my brother's daughter that I just met. This is my niece. I just met her. She's in Dallas. And then that's me and the railroaders. So that's the railroaders, and they all were nice. The guy in the black is Nick. That's his best buddy in emergency contact. And the tall white guy with the beard, that's his birthday twin. And the Latino guy with the hat on, he was like, your father trained me and da-da-da-da-da. Very, 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 very nice. Very, very nice people. Let me show you. And hold on, because I did have some other pictures. This the cousin that showed up at the house right after the death. That's him. That's John. That's his two sisters. Aquanetta's the older one. I know y'all having a hard time seeing that. She's the older one right there. And then that's the younger one, Cynthia. Those are his sisters. We're going to talk about them in a minute. Let's get back to the story. Y'all got faces to go with the name, with everything now. So, where am I? Hold on. Okay. I do keep it real, Tanya. Let's get back to the storyline. So, because we are an hour and some change. So I didn't mean to make this 2 hours, but we're going to try to finish it up. So after the funeral, I told Joe, because we had decided to leave early because things didn't go as planned. I was thinking that the apartment would be available for me to have stuff sitting on the counter. Now, Monty had some really nice watches. I didn't even get to that. I don't even know where they were at. I looked along the dresser real quick, but I was so discombobulated as to what I saw. Because I was looking for his wallet because we needed the social to set up the death certificate. Christina contacted me before I left here about 2 days before saying, Shannon, I can come up with the money for the cremation. Which one do you think I should do? And I was like, well, I've already done if you set up the funeral stuff. Just put his body in, just cremate his body. I said, don't strap yourself, because that was my big thing. And I said, if you want to do that, fine. I said, because if I get there and I don't have beneficiary stuff, he's left on the state. I don't have the money, and I'm not going to sit here and strap myself behind somebody who wasn't worried about it. And she says, no, I can come up with I think it was like $1,300. And there was one was 13, one was 15. I said, they're not going to be doing the funeral, so just get them cremated, the cheapest cremation you can do. And so and I said, and it was a company called Agape out there. Here in Arizona, we got a place that'll do it for $700 if you're under 250 pounds. They will do it for 600 and some change. I was like, that's a winner. So, turn around, and when it all was said and done, I told you, I said, I need to do laundry, because originally my goal was to set everything out on the counter and think that after the service, if the kids wanted to come, meaning the other children wanted to come and get anything, they could come get it. I was going to set out anything that I thought that they would want. I was going to do the watches and give one to each brother, but I have no idea where they were. And I couldn't, where his bed was where his closet was. And that black goo went all the way down to the nightstand. And then there were the dirty diapers in that room too. So I would have had to walk through the black goo to get to the closet and through the dirty diapers. And I couldn't do it. I was like, I'm done. So like I said, I grabbed the wallet, and I wasn't even thinking, because I was like, well, where would he have put him? Because nothing was sitting on his dresser. And so at this point, only thing on the dresser were, he had like medical stuff. He had his wallet. I think I grabbed the Bible from there. And the keys were in the kitchen on the counter. I grabbed the key for the car. I grabbed the wallet, and I also saw his address book. I grabbed it, and the only person I wanted to get in touch with was his friend Linda, which was one of his lady friends. Oh, but the ninja had 3 of his women there. Yes, he did. Linda came. His common law wife that he used to be with, she came, Nita. I wasn't a fan of Nita. And I met her when I was younger too. Not a fan. And then I met his one that was this long time chick that he'd been messing with in Oklahoma, Barbara. She came. All 3 of them was there. I was like, even in death, this ninja was a Rolling Stone. So, y'all young folks don't know Papa was a Rolling Stone. I mean, he just got around. So, song, y'all have to play it and understand it. So, I got that. I was able to send a text message to Linda, but she also went to the house, and the Ratchet cousin put something on the door like he's there, like he didn't know. I'm like, no, you knew. He knew he was there. He knew he was dead because Lynette had contacted them. Drama. So anyway, after the funeral, the hotel laundry was down. So I told Joe, I said, I don't want to repack dirty laundry. Let's stop by a laundromat after the funeral. And I put a bag of laundry in the back of the truck. So we get to a laundromat, we're washing, and cousin Aquanetta, who I met at the funeral, she contacts me and say, hey, what are you guys doing for lunch? I reach out to Christina, and Christina said, well, we're already back in Plainview. The other thing was, when I told Christina I needed the car, she was like, well, I ain't got a problem with it. The brother Jonathan ain't gonna have a problem, but Mackenzie, which is the youngest one. And I said, well, we're gonna sell a car. Because you got a car, and I need a car, and you got an issue with it. We're just gonna sell it and split the proceeds. And I told her, you're not gonna get very much money for this car, because I also knew mechanical issues with the car. The brakes were bad on the car. We had the dent in the back, and he had gotten it faded, where the outside was faded. It was a beautiful car when he first got it. But the interior also, the last time I was in there in 2018, because of his urinary issues, you could smell some of the urine, and the interior was leather. So I already knew that I might end up having to replace the seat unless I could have somebody come in detail to get that smell out, okay? Also, when I got back there and saw it, there was another accident in the very front of the car. I don't know what he hit on the driver's side. Y'all, I should have took a picture of it. There was, trying to think. I'm trying to show it, but it's like, and I'm just using this bottle. There was a hole in the front fender. You could see the scrape, and there was a hole, like something got drilled down into it. I don't know what he hit. And what I'm thinking is, because he needed a brake job, he couldn't stop the car and he hit something. I don't know what he hit. I can't tell you what he hit. But there's a big old hole all the way down through the car, through the front fender. And I'm telling them, they think they're going to get a lot of money for that car. I'm like, you're not going to get a lot of money for this car. Well, used cars. No, you're not. I'm just telling you. I work loans right now for a car company. You're not going to get a lot of money for that particular car. You have to understand, the cars that are reselling and selling for good money, those were in a certain type of condition. he didn't take care of this car. When I was there in 2018, the brakes were doing this. That means you're into a drum or a disc. Okay. That means you were you were in the drum or the disc. Okay. Oh, I'm not done with the cousins. The cousins that came are Ratchet. We'll get to that, brown sugar. You got to go back, but I'm gonna get to them because they Ratchet. So the pictures I showed you are for a reason. I'm gonna get to that. So you're not gonna get a lot of money for that car, but it's okay because a friend of mine before I left, she said they're gonna do you. She said you're gonna get there and realize they did you a favor by telling you they had a problem with you taking the car. We got there. First of all, did not expect somebody have tried to break in. So the handle on the driver's door, you couldn't get in through the driver's door. You had to go through the passenger's door because somebody tried to rip the handle off the driver's door trying to break into the car. Number one. On the passenger side, when you looked into the car, I don't know if he threw up. I don't know if he got sick. But there was all this crusty stuff where the cup holder was. It was nasty. He had, which he didn't normally eat in his car, that was the other thing that was weird. There were paper bags of fast food, like former fast food, like he was hungry, just sitting in the floor of the car. I don't know. In the back seat, he had gotten black underwear, and I think that was probably because of the incontinence. He didn't want to see it. It was all weird. All of it was weird. I popped the trunk. Everything that was in the trunk in 2018 was pretty much there. He had flat boxes and some toy cars from when he moved a long time ago that he never carried into the apartment. Same stuff. Everything was weird. Weird. Joe and I looked, and Joe said, you don't want this car. I said, I already can look at it. So when I got there to the thing, and I would have put the money into it. That's the problem is I would have went ahead and put the money because it ran. I would have spent probably more than what the car was actually worth to get it up to par. Okay. Because the brakes alone, I'm sure would have cost me over $1,000 to fix because he tried to lie and tell me he went to the room talking to Mitch. He goes, oh, Mitch said ain't nothing wrong with them brakes. You a lie. I drove a semi. I know when brakes are bad. The same way you lied about them tires. And y'all remember, if y'all go back to the video, y'all see me do that video on them tires. And you can see all along the side rim where it was dry rot. And the whole car shook because the tires were bad. And then when I came back out there, I went and got some tires on the front of the car. I couldn't afford all four, but I got new tires on the front. And I went to a used car shop to get the ones on the back because it was still shaking. It was dangerous because it was more important to eat out and not cook for yourself. And more important, what was the other thing he did? Eat out, not cook for himself, and smoke cigarettes. That was more important. But that's you. Everybody got their own, we all got our own stuff, okay? So I already knew the condition of the car, and I told him, I said, you ain't gonna get very much money. I looked up the low blue book, and the low book and I can't remember what model it was, but it was a Buick Lucerne 2006, I think it was. The low blue book was around $2,000 some. And the condition of what I saw, Joe said, I don't think they're gonna get $2,000. I said, I'll be shocked if they get $1,500. If they get $1,500, you got the dent in the back, you got now the hole in the front, you got the front door handle that you can't open the front door. The car is totally faded. If the urine smell is still in there, you got that. It's not clean. You got to try to clean it as best you can. If they can get $2,500, I'm gonna be impressed. But I don't think they're gonna get that. If they get $1,500, I'm gonna be impressed. Okay. So I ended up handing the keys, and he's like, and the younger brother's like, well, we're gonna sell it, and we'll get you some money so you can get a car. Okay, all right. If you do it, you do it. If you don't, you don't. I'm not here to argue. Here you go. Do what you're gonna do. Because it would have cost me already just to get it towed back here was gonna be about $500-$600. So even if I had hired a car hauler or if I had tried to tow it back, we would have spent $500 or $600. And Joe was like, it's not even worth it. Because he looked at it. He was like, he said, Shannon, the sad part is you can look and see it was a beautiful car. I said, when I came back on one of the trucking trips, I was like, where's the car? And when I looked out, my teeth almost fell out my mouth. Because it had went in less than a year or so to what I had seen. I was like, so anyway, that being done, So I was like, here you go. So the kids, hopefully they'll be fair, sell it, and then we can split it 5 ways. I put some money on my brother in Texas, the one who's in prison. I'm gonna go ahead and put money on his books and help out there as I can. I did not know that they charge these babies for toiletries. I thought that was part of our taxpayer dollars. Well, I come to find out, because I've never dealt with folks in prison. Like I said, I might have been there. So the Bible says, when you did it for the least of these, you did it for me. So I was like, okay, Lord, I'm going to start putting some money on his books since Monty's not there anymore. I ain't doing $100 a month. That's what my father did. I can't afford that. He's lucky to get between 25 and 50. That's what I can do. And hopefully that'll help with his toiletries. Because a friend of mine told me, Shannon, they got to buy their own toiletries. I was like, what? I didn't know they had to buy their own soap, their own toiletries. I had no idea. So the Ratchet cousin, the one y'all see in the picture, the one who showed up at the house afterwards, he told him, because he's a prison person too, tell Norris, I got him. I'm going to help him. I'm going to send some money. I can't do what Monty did, but I'm going to send some money for him. I'm like, okay. I don't know how consistent that is, so I need to call Texas Correctional, and then I'm going to start trying to send what I can, at least once a month. And it ain't going to be between, like I said, 25 and 50 bucks. I'm only do what I can do. I can't do what everybody else did, but I will do that much. So, and he'll have to manage it accordingly. We end up going to lunch with the 3 cousins. Y'all ready for this? So at the table, I meet them and we talk, and John knew me, and John told his sister what we call a doll. I'm like, okay. They talking to me. I talked to Aquanetta. First time meeting Cynthia. I had not talked to Cynthia. That's the younger one. And Cynthia, they all from Oklahoma. And Cynthia, the whole time, she doing this with me. You know how you staring at people trying to figure them out? Do we know each other? I just met you. Aquanetta, we talking, and then I mentioned stuff about she's like, well, where's this car? And I said, well, it's at his apartment, but it looked like somebody tried to break into it. That's all I said. And I said, but, the boys will take it back and they're supposed to sell it. Oh, okay. That's all she said, right? That was the conversation. So John over here in the corner, what you gonna do with his suits? I said, everything in that apartment has been turned over to the apartment complex. I want his suits. I said, that's not going to most likely happen. No, I'm going to get his suits. Are you really? I said, well, good luck with that. I said, because the keys have been turned over to the apartment complex, I guess you're going to try to work it out with them. Now, let me back up. From the time he got there, when he first tried to get there the day after Monty died, he had called the emergency contact, lied, and told him he was Monty's brother. He had called the complex and left messages talking about he was Monty's brother, trying to get access to the apartment. And I'm sitting there at the table. He don't know that I know all of this. I'm sitting up, like I said, I can sit down with my worst enemy. Bible tells you to be, was it as gentle as a dove? You be as wise as a serpent, but as gentle as a dove. Honey, you got to walk in wisdom. Meaning you need to be calm and collected when you're dealing with fools. And when you're dealing with your enemy. I'm like, I said, well, good luck with that. He's sitting to my left. So when I took that picture, he was sitting to my left, Joe's to my right, and the 2 sisters are sitting diagonal like this. And there's a chair in the middle, front, okay? The sister, Cynthia, she looking at me like this, like trying to figure me out. Why are you trying to figure me out? What are your plans? Question mark. Aquanetta, she cool. She cool and cousin this. And even before she got there, she's sending me, I love you, cousin. You don't know me. You trying to play the wrong one. She told me she was overweight too, girl. But you might be slightly overweight, but you ain't overweight like me. Trying to act like she's on my page. Identify, girl, my nigga. Excuse me. See, y'all, I done already come out my neck. See, the other Shannon, she about to come out the kennel. Got to put her back in the kennel. Go back in your kennel, girl. So, these ninjas right here. Table, we eat, and they said, and even she said, I said, yeah, I said, we put the whole funeral together, and then she's like, well, what are you going to do with his body? I said, well, Christina and Jonathan, they're supposed to handle something with it, and they're going to handle that. I don't have any other issue. I said, because there's no money. And so she goes, oh, okay, blah, blah, blah. Conversation's done. We leave. Everybody eat. We leave. That was on Saturday. I get back to Arizona on Monday at about 4:30 in the evening. Me and Joe left out Sunday morning. We stayed in New Mexico for one night to split the trip in half from the hard drive because he drove 11 hours straight. We split the trip because he got a new Range Rover and he didn't want me driving his car, and that's fine. That's his choice. We split the trip. And it gets good, honey. Brown sugar, I ain't done. We getting ready to we're gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna build the ending for you. Y'all gonna enjoy this. Cause my friend Linda was on the phone laughing when I got through with her. She's like, "Girl, I'm done with you." She said, "I told you, Lindella would have been to the table." She said, she said, "You are truly saved." She said, "There's not a doubt in my mind you saved." She said, "Cause it couldn't have been me." She said, my friend Linda, "Girl, I'm trying to get to where you at." Linda said, "I got to talk to the Lord. I'm trying to get to where you at." She said, "But I got to talk to Jesus because I am not there." Linda is funny. So these ninjas, and I warned Christina. Oh, let me back up. There is one special part I forgot. So before the whole funeral happened, the cousin that's here who's supposed to get in touch with everybody, she don't call me because she knew what she would have got with me. She calls Christina. I might be able, because she's in she sees something going on with her health-wise. So, there's always health issues with them. They like to be sick. And now she really is sick. See, be careful when you like stuff because you think it's getting your attention, because then it starts becoming manifested and becomes real. So she like, I might be able to get there to the funeral. And if I'm able to get there, am I able to stay in your daddy's apartment? What the hell? This $800 cousin. Christina said, "No, ma'am. No, ma'am." I was like, because when Christina told me, she's like, "Shannon, I know you don't want to hear anymore." She said, "But daddy's people." I said, and all I could say when she said that, I said, "Lord God, what did they do now?" Because I already knew they're ratchet. They're ratchet. I said, and I knew it was either John or Lynette. I said, "What did Lynette or John do?" And she said the Lynette asked because she stayed in daddy's apartment. I was like, well, first, the way she started it. Hold on, y'all. We're gonna back up. I'll come back to the cousins. The way she starts the conversation with Christina, she's like, "Oh, is Monty's apartment still upstairs?" Because she hadn't been out there since he moved. And she goes, "No, he's in a downstairs apartment." "Oh, he moved downstairs?" She said, "Well, he's in a different complex. He's not in that place he was at before." "Oh, well, is the bedroom, is it in the front or in the back?" And all of a sudden, my flags went up. I'm like, whoa, why are you asking about the layout of an apartment? Now, she's here in Arizona, but that bothered me. And so she goes, "It's in the back. Is it hard to get to?" And she goes, "No, you just walk in and go to it." And she goes, "Oh, well, I was thinking if I'm able to get there, if I could stay in his apartment." They found him dead in his bed. You want to stay in his room? And if anybody would have a right to stay there, it would be me or Christine. Christine lives in Kansas. I live in Arizona. Who does that? Ratchet. Ninjas is ratchet. Jesus. Y'all have no idea. Y'all have no idea how ratchet these ninjas are. Woosah. You said it's very expensive in jail. Okay, hold on, y'all. I ain't done yet. I ain't done yet. Yeah, jail is a dang business. Kathy, you funny. I love Christina's response was, "No, ma'am, no, ma'am." And then she said that my cousin Lynn was like, like she was offended. I was like, who does that? So back to the conversation. So I get back here on Monday. Remember, I talked to the cousins at the table. I told them on Saturday, because they asked about the car, about somebody trying to break into the car. Then the cousin John gonna tell me that he want his suits and he gonna get his suits. How you gonna tell me what you gonna get of my biological father? You not his child, you his cousin. How you gonna tell me what you gonna get? You're not his wife. You're not a significant other. You're not his children. But this what you're going to get. Oh, okay, good luck with that. Okay. Tuesday, I get the emails from, or the little messages, text messages from this cousin Aquanetta. I love you, cousin. I love you, family. You don't know me. Excuse me, see? Shannon, the other Shannon's coming out, y'all. Ninja, you just met me. You just met me. You don't know me. But what you do know is who I've been, because I've been real with you. So you should have got that. You met me at that table. Your sister was trying to analyze me and clock me. So if you didn't read the cards, I don't know what to tell you, because I was like this with the cards pretty much. I just laid them on the table. He ain't got no money. This is the situation. This is what we doing. There was nothing hidden. He didn't have nothing. He was broke. Only thing he had was his pension. And honestly, when they go to that account, if there's $4,000 in that account, I'm going to be shocked. She calls me on Tuesday. Okay? Kathy, you a fool. No, she like me in her kennel. Trust me, we need to leave her in her kennel. You do not want that fool out. And we need the other one in her casket, because I will be sitting up in a prison next to my brother. I don't plan on being there. So she calls me on Tuesday when I get back here. I get on Monday. I'm back Tuesday. She calls me on Tuesday. And it's Aquadetta. She proceeds to tell me this story. I want y'all to listen. Well, your daddy's car. He had an accident in that car. I said, okay. Yeah, because he had a dent in the... Oh, hold on. At the table, they also had told me, John tells me, that when they got there for the funeral, the day before the funeral, they had been driving by Monty's apartment. Why are you driving past his apartment? And had gone and asked questions of the neighbors as to who had entered the apartment, which was me. Why are you doing that? You're not his children. What? Ratchet. So she says, she calls me. It's the Aquanetta, the sister of John. He had an accident in the car. I said, okay. She goes, she had an accident in the car. I said, really? She goes, yeah. I said, uh-huh. And he had a dent in the front. I said, yeah. And he that handle on the car, nobody tried to break into it. That was from the accident. I said, really? Y'all, I never mentioned at the table that it was a handle they tried to break into. Keep following the bouncing ball. Because even Joe was there. When I told Joe, he said, wait a minute, Shannon, you never said anything about the can't handle. You just said somebody tried to break in the car. You never said how. Right. So she just told me who tried to break into that car. Because the only way you would know it was the handle was through your brother. That's right. That's right, Kathy. She's like, well, he had an accident in the front. And then she said, and something about a fall. And I said, well, a fall in the handle. I said, so Aquanetta, was it a fall? Or was it an accident? Which one was it, baby girl? Well, he had an accident. And, he had the dent in the back. I said, yes, I do know about the dent in the back. Well, he had the dent in the front and the dent in the back. I said, Aquanetta, let me help you with something. All of this is now irrelevant because he's dead. And the dent in the back, I happened to be with him when he got it. It was the first day he bought the car. He accidentally backed it into the pole at the credit union the day he bought the car. I was with him. I was sitting in the passenger seat. Oh, with the dent in the front, that happened, and that's how the handle got messed up. I said, did it really? I said, so was it the fall or was it the... And my friend Linda said, she said, what the hell kind of fall did he have that you could pull a handle out like that? Hold on, y'all. Pictures. Y'all like pictures. Let me show y'all pictures. Hold on. Oh, I took pictures. Yes, ma'am, I did. Hold on. Let's go back. Hold on, y'all. I got to show y'all a picture. If y'all can see the picture. Y'all see that? They pulled that handle out. Hold on. Y'all see it? They pulled it out from the metal on the car. Y'all see up there? Whoever did that, they pulled it away. So you used something. But let me help you out with further. Now, those are just base scratches, and that white mark you see is the reflection on the car. You see my feet and my body in the reflection. Do you see any scratches or any kind of thing or any dings or dent on the door? And I'm going to tell you, there were none. The only thing you see is the common scratches on the car. No, like, just regular scrapes and just wear and tear. That would not, thank you, Kathy. In the very front fender on the driver's side, he had a scrape and a hole straight down. It was as if he got caught under something and it jarred into the top of the thing. There was no dent all the way down the side. The door was not off kilter. There was no dent or slides or gashes to the door. There is no way in hell he could have done that without have doing damage to the paint, to the metal, or the fiberglass on that door. Somebody did this and they used something to pull that door out to try to get into the car. That's what they did. And if it was somebody who wanted to bust in there for something, they would have, like just a random person. You and I both know, because I've had a car broken into. They bust the glass. They get what they want. They go. He had some underwear in the back. That was it. That was it. And some paper bags. Brown sugar. That's exactly what I think, Kathy. It looks like they took like something, and that's exactly, it looked like people. But the problem I have, you just told me who did it, because I never mentioned to you about the door. I never mentioned to you, but you don't tell me. And then all of a sudden the conversation goes from her telling me to, well, John said, the cousin that showed up, her brother who showed up the day after he died. I told you he's Ratchet. I already knew who John is. John is Ratchet. And you Ratchet too. Okay? I'm quiet. I'm quiet on the phone because you almost on phone block. Y'all, let me go with the story. You almost on phone block. These ghetto behind people. Hey, peace be with you. What's up, baby? These ghetto behind people. Ratchet. I done got up here. I'm dealing with y'all ratchet behinds. I'm thinking to myself, this is crazy as hell. And y'all crazy as hell. Let me go here. She gonna tell me, I'm like, okay. Then she like, well, where is the car now? I said, the boys have it. Meaning Christina's brothers. They took it to Plainview. At this point, well, John said he kept his business paperwork in his car. I said, really? First of all, Monty was not a businessman. He was not organized. He had no money. I done told you sorry behind Negroes that. Nobody's going to be living in a poopy apartment with diapers all around their apartment on the floor in those conditions if they had money. Get the hell out of here. Nobody. The man had no money. Everything he had, he put on his back, on his feet, and he thought that was blinging to impress people. He ain't had no damn money. You want stuff and think he got something because he came and paid for a $100 meal? Ninja, please. Well, his business, I said, well, really? I said, John knew all this? I stayed there. Monty had boxes of old bills in a room against a wall. Old bills. Nothing of importance. There might have been the life insurance policy information back there for the railroad. That's it. He was thinking about cashing out some kind of life insurance. He was holding on my brother Norris because his money was so bad. Because he wouldn't manage it differently. Because I'm going to do things the way I want to do them. Because I want to. But you think he has something, and you want some suits that smell like death and doo-doo in the apartment. If I canceled Catholic Charities from coming to get the stuff in that apartment because I didn't feel it was safe for them, and me and Joe wouldn't even go in there and go through the rest of the stuff because of the stench and what we walked into, then why in the hell would you want suits that smell like that? You can't even, there's no way you're going to get that stench out of it. Ninjas. Final straw in the story. That was Tuesday. I'm supposed to go back to work on Friday because they gave me, my company I'm with, really nice. They actually worked with me phenomenal. Gave me 5 days bereavement on top of my off days. So it's almost like I had a 2 weeks off. It really was. We stayed a week in Lubbock, and almost a week, because we got there early thinking we were going to pack the apartment and things were going to be different. Thank you. Peace be with you. I'm going to rename this the death story, because this is the greedy family death story. That's what we're going to rename this. On Friday morning, I get woken up early by who? Cousin John trying to call again. I don't answer the phone. I'm supposed to work. Another Friday, his behind calls me 5-something in the morning. Note on there. Shannon, it's John. It's an emergency. I need you to call me back. I'm not doing that. I'm in the bathroom having my morning constitutional. I text him. I gotta go to work. If it's an emergency, you need to let me know and text what you need because I'm busy. All of a sudden, Cousin Lynette, the one locally here, she calls. I don't answer her call, but she leaves a voicemail. Monty's brother, the stepbrother, he's calling because he's trying to get in touch with you to find out what you gonna do with the china cabinet, the buffet that Monty had. You just opened up the kennel. Bad move. Bad move. Bad move. Bad move. Then, after she leaves her message, the Aquanetta sister sends me a text message. Oh, are you back in Phoenix? My ninja, you talked to me on Tuesday, and I told you I was back in Phoenix because you asked me. You asked me how my trip was back. We're back. And I told you that when you told me all this lying stuff about the car and the dents and all this other stuff, that's irrelevant because he's dead. At that point in time, I knew that it wasn't about was I back in town. You getting ready to think you're going to schmooze me. So let me help y'all with something. I am 460 damn pounds. And some people, like my father, they think that fat people, and that's why my father went for fat women, because he thought they had low self-esteem. And he went for ones who did, unfortunately. My mother and some of the other women, well, most of the other women he messed with. They were women that wanted attention, and they accepted Monty. He was a schmoozer. My mother was one of them. I like Christina's mama. Her mama was one of them. My brother Norris, his mama was one of them, and she wasn't a heavyset woman. Pam was thin. But they're women who bought Monty's game. Okay, they bought his game. I'm 460 pounds, but let me help y'all with something. Granted, maybe it's the old tomboy, maybe it's the old gay stuff. I don't know. Confidence has never been an issue for me. Low self-esteem, not an issue. Now, I do want to get my weight off, but not an issue. You accept me who I am, I really don't give a good damn on what you think. Like my friend Joe, he got the new little Range Rover. That's his thing. It's a status thing, and I love him. It's a status thing. I told him, when I bought my first car, the first car I wanted a Carmen Ghia. Most people don't even know what the hell a Carmen Ghia is. I'm a geek, I'm a nerd, and I'm okay with being that. And if you don't like this geek and nerd, kiss it. I could give a damn. I could care less. I'm who I am. I don't give a damn what you think about me. I done been through my own set of drama in this life. I'm going to be me. And I'm not me to impress people. Those young days of thinking I'm cool and doing stuff, I'm not. I don't care. And my version of cool is not your version of cool anyway. So, kiss it. So, The cousin Aquanetta who thought she was schmoozing me and thought maybe I was the fat person that needed the attention and I need to tell you I love you and all that other BS trying to play games. My ninja next. First of all, I am an offspring from your jacked up cousin. I'm an offspring from two manipulative playing parents. I watched them. They're control freaks. They're manipulators. They're bullies. I know them. I understand them. I grew up with my mama. I already know. No joke. She is a bully, and she did have low self-esteem, but she brought it out like the little Trump dude as a bully, okay? Because you got issues. Monty, he thought he was a player. He could manipulate people and connive people. Not I, said the damn fly. I talk to money how I talk to money. You will not, you cannot, and don't think you can play me. Child, bye. And you think by you schmoozing me that what you did get yours behind was on phone block. That's what you got. So I sent a message to cousin Lynette. Let me see if I still have it on my phone. Hold on, y'all. I'll read it verbatim. I had Linda, my friend Linda, on the phone, on the floor laughing. Hold on, let me see if I can send this. Hold on. I'm going to go back and I'll read it. Ain't no shame in my game. She tells me she thought I was in Lubbock. Okay? Now, she didn't know I was back. This is Lynette. But they knew I was back. After her voicemail and seeing cousin Aquanetta on there, this is what I wrote verbatim. I want no more phone calls or texts about Monty's things. The apartment has been turned over to the complex to clean and dispose of everything in there. It is a biohazard. The conditions are bad. Any further calls or texts regarding a dead person's items will result in being blocked. He was broke, had nothing. We used our own monies to handle the funeral and remains. Stop asking for stuff. This is done. I've already blocked 2 people. Get that message to his extended family. I'm done with this. Point blank period. She comes back because she's crazy. And this is what she says. Okay, I will pass this message along. I'm caught in the middle. You're not caught in the middle. She likes drama. I'm caught because I would have been out the middle of this in the first place. I would have passed that message along and said, girl, I'm done with it. Thank you. I didn't know. Because she didn't know everything else. She doesn't know about the car because I haven't told her anything because it's really none of her business. She says, I'm caught in the middle and I don't want to be a burden. Rock, which is the adopted brother, who's also his cousin legally, contacted the army who paid the money for his cremation. That's a lie. This is how ratchet these people are. They're telling Lynette that they had contacted the VA and they took care of his cremation through the VA. They did not. Christina and her brother went to the mortuary. They went in and they combined their monies in order to do it. And when I talked to the lady at the VA, I even have an internal contact at the VA. I know somebody who works there that I worked with her. The sister stayed in my house for a little bit. I know her. And her uncle had committed suicide before I left. I talked to her before I left. Her uncle was a veteran. They end up, she said, Shannon, the only thing they telling us is reimbursement. So this was also a lie. Hold on, I'm not done. She said, I didn't know if anyone had spoke to them. Like I told them, I was in the hospital and just came home last night. Don't be mad at me. I didn't do it. LOL. This is Lynette. This is the one who asked for the $800 and wanted to stay in the dead man's apartment. I am sorry. You're having so much trouble with everything. Did you send me an obituary? I ain't even gonna go there because I sent her a obituary electronically. I'll send one paper, but next. I said, first of all, and I did it. I went in and checked her. I said, I know nothing of the payment of the cremation. My understanding is Christina came up with the money. I said, did you tell her about something with the cremation? Because I was at this point, I'm like, what is going on? Because it's totally different from what I'm being told, or from what I shared with Christina. So I reached out to my friend at the VA. I said, per my conversation with the VA, they only do reimbursement. That's all they do. And she says, no, I haven't talked to Christina. She said, I was told by Rock, which is Tracy Smith, that's his real name, that they had girl bye. These niggas is messy. Excuse me, y'all. I'm getting irritated. I said, look, I said, we, meaning the kids, took care of the remains. She says the funeral home has him as of yesterday. Right. You know why? Because Christina's brother went down to Lubbock and paid the money. She had given half of it. He came up with the other half of it, and they handled the remains. I text Christina. Christina said, why are they even involved in this? Because they messy. I said, Jonathan and Christina took care of it. Rock has nothing to do with this. Okay. She says, I'm confused. They told me that. Who has the car? I said, this is our business. At this point, I'm cutting it off. This is with the local cousin here. I said, this is our business and we have handled it on our own with nothing from Monty or extended family. The expense to travel down there for both Christina and I, at least she could stay with her brothers. But between my friends and church people, I got down there and handled this. As far as any of his stuff, it's handled, including the car. Basically, mind your own damn business. She then came back and she said, I'm sorry, Shannon. I just got home and I'm trying to help out. I would have told them to donate. I don't even know what that meant. But you said you didn't want to ask them. I will back off because I want a relationship with you guys, meaning the kids, me and the, that's all I have of your dad. I'm still your cousin. I don't want to be under the extended family title. Aunt Marie, that's my grandmother, would beat my head in if she heard I had upset you. I love you. And this is Lynette. I know her. I grew up with her. And did what I could do by calling people. That's all I asked you to do. You need to get out of it now. Okay? She said the only reason I asked about the car is they said Monty's business papers in the car. He wasn't a businessman, and that's the bull crap that Aquanetta, just messy. I said, let me know if you can, and I asked her to get a hold of one of and I said, that's it. I didn't want anything else. And that was it. And she ended it. At that point in time, she realized, she knew she had taken me to the wrong, Shannon had come out. The other Shannon, Shanoon, she was coming out the kennel. Hot the whole day. And I had to work that whole day. And was on the phones. Was not happy. So anyway, we got that shut down. I blocked all them ninjas. Ain't heard nothing since. But that's the ghetto family drama with Monty and his ratchet people. So, and I tell this story for this. Guys, we all have generational curses. And sometimes I'm actually happy I met them. I'm happy I met them because my grandmother told me I had 2 times the temper of those people. And I'm happy I met them because it made me solidify more how grateful I was that I did not grow up with Monty. Because like I said, I would probably be sitting in a cell. I might be worse off than Norris. I might be on death row. I'm just saying. Because y'all don't know where I can go with my temper and some other things that I think. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. That's where you have to say, thank you, Jesus. Thank you. There but for the grace of God go I. I know. He got his hand. Keep my hand in your hand. Because this sister up here, that other person, she ain't rap right. And y'all. And so I think that they thought that they could, you can play me. My ninja next. Y'all, I'm going to get a shirt with that on there. I'm just saying. Next. I don't have confidence issues. 460 pounds. I got weight issues. I'm fat. I ain't got confidence issues. I can do that saying I can do bad by myself. I can. I don't need your help. And you ain't paying no bills. You ain't helping with nothing. And even if you were, you still ain't running nothing. I'm going to do what I'm going to. This is what I did inherit. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. That I did inherit. Now, I'm not a grown little boy like him. And I'm a lot more wiser with the I'm going to do what I'm going to do. I don't just do stupid stuff and continue doing stupid stuff. Not on that level. That's why stupid stuff would have kept in touch with you. Real stuff got dismissed you. I don't need you. There's not a damn thing you're doing for me other than be messy. Cut off. So that's his extended family that I got to meet. And they're messy and they're manipulators and trying to be players. And y'all know I don't do bad things. But if we move that finger down right there, y'all know what that means. So y'all can flip off is all I can say. Next. Because I'm done. So that's the Ratchet family drama. This is probably 2 hours and change. What's my favorite color? So when I was younger, my favorite colors were very simple. This is my mindset: black and white. As I've gotten older, when I had my house, I like slate gray, which is a bluish gray. So I actually like blues, any kind of different blues. I like blues, more like a smoky blue. I don't like baby blues, more like smoky blues, a regular blue. That's one of my top favorite colors, and I'm still black and white fan. Grays. Those are probably the ranges of colors I like. So black, I'm very simple. It's like being fat and you go through the fat women's place and they try to put all that stuff on your shirts and stuff. I don't want a boat on my shirt. I already know I'm fat and I don't need somebody to see a big ass boat on my shirt. I just want a plain black shirt or a plain white shirt or a blue shirt. I don't, I yeah, I don't know. That's just me. That's what I said. I'm a different cat. So, but yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed enjoyed the family saga. You don't get the grumpy stories like you did, but even in death, he just entertained y'all. Let me go read some comments and then I got to get off of here because I need to ride up the street because one of my maintenance guy, I'm paying him I had a fabric curtain back there. Y'all see it's real bright right now. And we had a bad storm and it blew it down. Well, he had nailed it in. I didn't actually have the right installing equipment for it, but Amazon had it on special, so I got it behind me, and so I called him, and I'm gonna pay him tomorrow, but I don't have any cash. So I need to go pick up cash, and I might pick up something for dinner. So I'm trying to figure out. I was possibly going to grocery store, but I don't even really want to go to the grocery store, y'all. I hate grocery shopping now. I got spoiled with Instacart. I like the fact I don't have to stand in line with a bunch of kids and people I don't like, and folks walking up on you, and ratchet Anglo folks that may not like me, and they be looking at you strange. I don't have to deal with that. They just put it by my door, and I disinfect it and bring it in the house. Deal with it. So I'm probably going to do that. Hold on. I was going to go see what y'all comments were. Hold on, y'all. Y'all know I was going to see what your comments are. Hold on, let me go look at your comments. Okay. Woo! Okay, y'all, I done went through, so I'm going to try to spin back real quick. Y'all got to, did y'all enjoy my story, my crazy family story? Because the extended family that I never met. Let's see. And thank you, everybody, for the condolences. I'm happy y'all enjoyed it. Somebody can laugh at my drama with me. Because I had to sit back here, and I had to catch myself. Woo! Yeah, I order from Amazon, too, peace be with you. I do them sometimes, too. I am a member of Instacart, which I do like because they go to Costco, but I do order from Amazon from time to time. I'm going to have to do an order from Walmart. I haven't gone and shopped at Walmart. Well, we did go to Walmart out in Lubbock. No, hold on. Did we go to Walmart? No, we went to H-E-B. I like H-E-B. I've always liked H-E-B. They got an H-E-B in Lubbock now, and I love H-E-B. Micheline, I'm happy you enjoyed it. Kathy. Kathy, you funny, but you understood. Ruby, good to talk to you. Okay, Kathy. Ninjas and flies. You funny. Ninjas and flies. Yeah, they go right hand in hand, girl. Hand in hand. Tanya, I do keep it. That's what I told. Wait a minute. So when I was talking to her on the phone, that one time when she's telling me about the whole car thing, and I ain't never mentioned to you about the handle, I kept saying to her, "You did meet me, right, baby? If you did, I don't know what to tell you. I was so real. You did. Look, I'm looking. I'm sitting here like this. You did meet me, right? You met me, right? You sat at a table with me, right? Your sister was over there trying to clock me. So y'all should have had a discussion after. You did meet me, right? You met me. I don't know what to tell you. If you didn't read the cards, I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, the berry for free though, they only reimburse you. That so you could at least the packet they sent me, and when I talked to the lady, they don't pay up front. So they were lying as if they got the VA to do the cremation as if it was them who did it. They didn't have anything to do with it. And I told Christina, I said, did you do this? Because then I was like, where did she get this information? I'm asking Lynette. And that's when I realized, she said, no, we haven't. She said, Shannon, we went in person. Jonathan went. I gave him my money and we put our money together in order to do this. That's I keep it 100. Just because it's kind of like that Lizzo chick, and like I said, I don't necessarily agree with her promoting being obese, and I get the fact she has confidence, but girl, bye. Just because you fat don't mean you got confidence. You got a fat problem. I like damn food. That's a problem. I don't exercise. That's a problem. That don't have nothing to do with my confidence. There's some fat people that ain't got no confidence issues. Don't assume just because somebody's obese, oh, I'm fat and don't nobody want me. My ninja next. I ain't worried about whether you want me, don't want me. I get attention from both males and females. I don't have a confidence issue. I'm not looking for it. Now, there's some people they find that's what they need. That's what Monty wanted. He wanted people to look at him and want him, and that made him feel like he was a girl. But I don't even need that. I don't need that to feel that I'm a female or a woman. Zero. And where I'm at right now, I don't want to be bothered. I've been through the young days of dating folks and in relationships and all the madness of that. I'm good right now. You know the relationship I want? I'm looking for a Cocker Spaniel and a Min Pin. I want a relationship with two dogs with four legs. Two-legged dogs cannot enter. You can't stay. You can't visit. Oh, last funny part. So when I was telling her, I told her this is the crazy Aquanet cousin. This is on the Tuesday conversation. I was saying that I was going through my stuff because I had stuff moved in here and I hadn't finished unpacking. She says, oh, good. You can have it in order when I come down there to visit. I said, yes, and we can get together with you at whatever hotel you staying at. How you going to invite yourself to my house? Ninjas. Ninja, please. You effing with the right one. You effing with the right one, baby girl. Woo! Woo, y'all. Woo-wee. Them ninjas. You talking to the right one. And then his common law wife, who was at the funeral, she gonna mess with my hair. What's up with you cutting your hair low? I said, well, you see that circle in the middle? I said, that's called a receding hairline, and it's thin. I don't want to look like the uncle with the dip in the middle trying to grow some hair. So I keep it 100. I just shave it off. If I want to be bald, that's my choice. Ninjas. Give a damn. Woo-wee. So I've taken some time, y'all, because they had me. I had to, Shanoon, she was coming out the kennel. So we had to put her back in the kennel. Put her back in the kennel. And it's okay. Oh, that's what Tabitha Brown, that's your business? It is my business. You dang right. Woo! Hot ass mess, y'all. Y'all can play it. My friend Linda, she said, girl, you need to write a movie on your people and your dad. She said, this is Tyler Perry on a whole nother level. I said, girl. And it's his family. Now, my mom's family got issues, but we not comical like this. He got ratchet ghetto Negro stuff. So, even Christina, she she said, Shannon, daddy's people. Did I lie to you? Did I lie? See, they kind of get mad because I would get on here and I think some of them watch and they would get mad because I would tell the story of the family. But now you got to experience the madness. I'm just real about it. Y'all want to sit here and try to sweep it under the carpet. No. No. I'm trying to help you get some freedom. Being free is mean if I understand this is something from my line and I face it, then I know not to be it. Okay? I know my mom had weight issues. I know that is on my mother's side. My brother, all three of us got to over 400 pounds. One of us had weight loss surgery. That's the one who is in Texas as a general manager. He did the weight loss surgery. Me and Chris, we still have the weight issue. Him and his wife are starting to go to the gym. As soon as I get a car, that's going to be my next move. As I'm going to probably be doing the gym. I need to get out here and walk some more. And like I said, when I got back here, we've done a little bit of walking. And I'm not, like I said, I was walking in Lubbock. And I was like, because I literally pretty much just go from the bedroom to this chair to the kitchen to this chair to the bed. I don't have a couch in here. I'm ordering a day bed today. So I'm ordering it's going to be a day bed where you can sit on like a couch. I'm ordering that today. That'll be shipped. And then I have to I got to order the mattress for it. It's more pricey, but thank God my friend Linda, who I work with, her play son sent me a link for Afterpay. So it allows me to pay it in 4 installments. So I'm going to order it. It's only going to cost me $100 for the first order. And then every week every pay period I pay, whatever, $100 until it's paid off. And then I'm going to order a mattress here in 2 weeks from Amazon for it. We have a school across the street, but right now I know those kids are there and I don't have the energy. So I don't even go there. But right now I just need to do little walks just to get this back up. And I still have a trimmer. This one's bad, but it's not. This one is the worst. So like when I'm eating, my hand is just shaking. And so I got to go get that. I got to go to a neurologist and find out what's going on with that. And so y'all keep me in prayer. I'm praying that it's nothing significant. And what one of my friends said is a benign tremors. And my doctor said there are tremors that as you get older, some people get. We're hoping it's around that. But like I said, it has translated over to this hand. It was initially just my left hand. So I do need to deal with that. But yeah, y'all, we almost at 2 hours, y'all. I got to get my butt up. Well, actually, I think we over 2 hours. But y'all, anybody who watches later on, give us a like, thumbs up, share it out. I will do another video in a couple of weeks. I don't know if it's going to be on a Wednesday or a Sunday or a Thursday. I just kind of was like, okay, let me get in here and update them. I got to go get some cash because the man's going to come fix this tomorrow and I got to give him $25. So I want to make sure I get some cash and maybe I'll pick something up for lunch or dinner. I don't know. I haven't even decided what I want for dinner. So I'm probably going to get dressed here and figure that out here in a minute. Anyway, y'all, 2 and 2, be blessed. Peace.